producing, perceived, pushing for the deal, scouting the player, weighing up the options, monitoring, discussing. They appreciate the player, edging closer, studying, exploring, flirting, leading the race, targeting, prioritizing, considering, keeping tabs on the player, agreeing personal terms, following. He's a concrete name. Luring, gauging, in love with. How many more buzzwords do these journos need? Like, real talk, how many more buzzwords do these journos actually need? So, good evening, good evening, good evening. We are back again. And we are about to chef. 26th Michelin star could be incoming tonight, guys. We already got 25 Michelin stars. Big up, Sam. I'll pin that in a sec, my guy. Bless up, brother. If I can be asked, I'll do the Chelsea game. If not, and we're chefing, then we'll just carry on here. Now I'm going to bed. However, I will have it on for the meantime when it kicks off in 40 minutes, guys. However, you know what I'm like, innit? Yeah, I sit here and I listen to bullshit every day from people chatting absolute nonsense about shit they don't know. Yeah, trying to con people, finesse people, and lie to people on a daily basis, which ultimately makes people like myself that speak the truth, makes our truth-telling look less authentic. It's almost like we're the problem. We have a cigar as well. Well, half a cigar. We can maybe smoke the cigar in a minute, guys. So people like myself that tell you the truth every day. And you know, I share the screens. I show you my phone. I show you this and that. You know, I tell the truth, guys. The majority of you do anyway. And anyway, when I see bullshit, I have to call it out because that's how I am. I have to just call it out, mate. I have to call it out. And I've been calling it out for a long time. And people don't like the way I talk. I genuinely couldn't care less. Couldn't care less. I see people in my comment section all the time saying, oh, yeah, it's not what you're saying. It's how you're saying it. Nobody cares, bruv. Ain't my fault you don't like the way I talk. Couldn't care less. I ain't changing. I'm in my 40s, mate. Do you think I have to change? No, you're mad. Oh, you're just a miserable old man that cleans swimming pools. Good one, mate. Well, I got paid today and I'm doing all right for a swimming pool cleaner. Cheers. You guys as well in the chat that support me everywhere. Any channel I go on, or any channel we raid, you're there supporting every single time. I appreciate that because you know what? It doesn't matter whether you support Arsenal, and another load of bollocks perception is, oh, he plays up to the rival fans. Oh, really? Well, most of the people that are on this channel as active daily comments and subscribe, well, maybe not subscribers, so I don't know who fucking subscribes, apart from the ones that comment. And most people that are in the comment section on this channel, most days are Arsenal fans that have had enough of this football club. The people I get on the channel, I get a gal on. Oh, because it used to be an echo chamber, apparently. Oh, we don't do echo chambers. Okay, cool. Big up Nick Football Club, my guy, bruv. Facts. Make sure you sub to Nick's channel as well. And right here, right now, I'll pin this guy's comment right now. Make sure you sub to his channel because this is a guy that has done multiple videos about my content, calling me out, not in a rude way. Yeah, but challenging why I do certain things, the way I do certain things, so on and so forth. And then he jumped on the channel one day. Can't remember what day, what game it was or whatever, but he jumped on one night, or we was on a channel together or something like that. I might have been here. I can't remember, bruv. Done so many streams. Yeah, and it's about, well, it says poor air quality, bruv. It's definitely poor air quality. It's about 50 degrees in this apartment, although it is only 24 degrees outside. And my aircon's fucked. So I'm sweating like a top gooner trying to explain the process in phase 6. But anyway, next time I was fan zone. It was fan zone. Yes, it was. It was the quiz. I remember now. Bless up to you, bruv. First time I'd ever been on a stream with him. This guy's called me out respectfully. challenged my content, shared some of the content I've done. I ain't got no problem with Nick. Do you know why? Because he don't chat bollocks. I ain't got a problem with anyone challenging my opinion. I'm not the oracle of football. I'm just a football fan that has an opinion. And because most people don't like it, apparently, which is complete bollocks, hence why we have over 120,000 subs on here, nearly 40 on the other channel. Most people don't like it. Really? Well, the people that are in my comment section every single day, day in, day out, nearly every single stream, or watch the content back, that I chat to, I speak to, I know where they're from, what they do for a living, what day of the what time of the day they work, whether they got a missus, their age, so on and so forth. Well, they seem to like it. Oh, but they're rivals. Well, they're not, because there's loads of Arsenal fans in this chat right now. Maybe this time of night it might be different. I don't know. But I've been doing this for a long time on this channel. I've been on so many other channels since I've been doing this on this channel, which was 21st of November 2018. I set this channel up. 21st of November 2018. We're now on the 25th of June 2025. What has changed? What's changed at the club? I shared Charlie Boy Watt's post the other day with Dick Law. If you don't know who Dick Law is, I'll play it again if you want. In fact, I will play it, because otherwise you think I'm chatting shit. So we have to actually visibly show or let you hear, because most people that don't like me, that are sitting in the background not commenting, and that's cool. I don't care if you like me or not. Genuinely couldn't care. That's your opinion. That's fine. However, I'm sick of people taking the piss. And when I say taking the piss, making out I'm a problem, or other people that have a thought process like me about my football club that I've supported nearly 40 years are a problem because we don't trust a process that nobody can explain has an end goal, when it has an end goal, what the process is, so on and so forth. They all want to sit there and be part of the get along gang, the jolly up crew. Then you have rival fans that have channels sitting there, or sitting on TalkSport, or ex-footballers sitting on the mainstream media as well, trying to say to callers on TalkSport, you want to tear her out? Are you mad? Are you mad? Like this clip. I'll play this clip and I'll go to that Dick Law clip. Watch this. The Di Matteo, mate. Yeah, anytime somebody phones in TalkSport and questions Arteta, you get an ex-Arsenal player sitting there looking like a retard, by the way, Jermaine Pennant. Yeah, this is the same Jermaine Pennant who didn't realise he had a Porsche that he left at Birmingham train station for 3 years while he was playing in Spain. Didn't even know he had a car. Never knew he had a Porsche. And now he obviously ain't got the Porsche anymore. He's probably brassic, and now that's why he's working on TalkSport with Jason Cundy, who no Chelsea fan can probably remember he ever played for their club.
He's a manager that we should go and get for the free. Ain't going to cost us nothing. Get him in there. Won the Champions League 2012, managed Villa in 16, and he's now a manager out in South Korea for Hyundai. Who's that?
Don't know. Who's it?
Who that is?
Who's it?
You. What do you mean?
Well,
Do you not know, Jay?
No, who's it?
Roberto Di Matteo, mate.
That is the same Jason Cundy listening to an Arsenal fan who's obviously of a certain age, older than me, I'd imagine, saying this manager's basically not it. That's basically what we're saying, to the point where he'd go and get Roberto Di Matteo, mate. And Jason Cundy didn't even know who won Chelsea the Champions League in 2012. Hello, it's your first Champions League, mate. Won the Champions League. Managed, won the Champions League. Won the Champions League in 2012. And Cundy's sitting there like, you don't know who won your club the Champions League? Wow, crazy work. And these are the people that are sitting there belittling people like me because I want the manager out, because he's shit. And it was obvious he was going to be shit. And do you know why? Because he'd managed one game of football in his entire life. And he lost that when Pep was having back surgery. He lost to Lyon. First, they've just been relegated. Maybe we should go and get somebody. Maybe we should get Lacazette and Maitland-Niles back. Maybe we should go and get the left winger for Fana. That's a proper market opportunity. A bit like Raul Morro that I keep telling you is a baller that's just signed for Ajax for 12 million euros, including add-ons. But don't worry, we'll make out that we're getting Rodrigo and Nico Williams that I've told you for 2 years is going by Barcelona. I believe you said Supermendi won't sign him. Cool. Has anyone tracked his flight? Has anyone seen him in London? I actually think we were getting him. I did say this multiple times on shows. However, I did put a tweet out before I said it multiple times on shows that he'll probably end up at Barcelona. Whoopee. These fuckers have sat there, these top gooners, telling us we're going to win the league for the last 3 years. But because they ain't getting called out every day, like I do, that's okay. Because I'm the problem, innit? Because I said Zubimendi and Declan Rice weren't going to sign for Arsenal. Cool. You lot are trusting a process you can't even explain at all. What does it consist of? Can somebody tell me what the fuck the process is and when it comes to fruition? Now we're linked to another guy, Lucien Agum at Sevilla. But I keep getting told it's a farmers league, and why the fuck am I doing La Liga watch-alongs on the Reacts channel? Why are you doing that? These men are not sitting there watching Leganes versus Sevilla, guys. Valladolid, Sevilla. Sevilla versus Espanyol. Sevilla versus Vallecano. Sevilla versus Getafe. They're not watching that. They're watching Super Sunday because that's the only league they watch. And now they're gassing up this guy that they've never seen play football before. That is actually worse, believe it or not, than Sammy Lukonga. That way, I'm the problem, innit? Because the truth doesn't prevail on this app, according to these idiots. Well, it does on my fucking channels. And if they don't like it, I couldn't give two flying fucks. Because I ain't changing, mate. And I've been doing this since 21st of November, 2018. But anyway, you have people that are ex-players, some very good, some not very good, all trying to make out Super Duper Mix amazing. Look at where he's took you from. Do you know why? Because they have to keep their employment going. Because most of them are skint. They didn't save their money. They weren't earning hundreds of thousands of pounds every week. They were earning $5,000 a week. Hence why they're now back in the mainstream media. Oh, yes. Tim Cahill, another one. Sitting there trying to argue with Roy Keane a few years back. But he knows why he lost, Roy. And Roy Keane said to him, well, he should know why he's lost. Conceded more goals than he scored. Why is Tim Cahill going to back his... Oh, cool. I'll tell you why. Because he was a teammate of Mikel Arteta's. Yeah, you got Martin Keown sitting on TalkSport, won major honours at our football club. Do you think he would ever dare walk into that dressing room after finishing second 3 times in a row? Which we actually did, by the way. We actually did under Arsene Wenger. Do you think he'd walk into that dressing room after finishing second 3 times in a row, not winning a trophy for 5 years, and telling Vieira, Adams, Thierry Henry, and all these man, oh, don't worry, it's fine. Just go again. Look where he took us from. No, before he came in, mate, we had Bruce. Like, get out of here, bro. Fuck off. Never in a million years. Yeah, because he knows he'd get weighed in. Yeah, he knows he'd get weighed in. But now he wants to sit on TalkSport every day chatting absolute garbage. Yeah, which now people will listen to because it's Martin Keown. Why is he doing that? Because he's probably skint. And when I say skint, he ain't got no money in his bank. Of course he has. Well, you'd imagine so. However, he wants to keep his employment going in the mainstream media. He's writing a book. Gary Lineker promoted it on Match of the Day. This guy's on Match of the Day, TalkSport, and BT Sport. Why? Why? Giving it all the Arteta prop. He wouldn't accept failure when he was a player, so why does he now? Then you got Ray Parlour. We ain't seen him for a minute, I can't lie. He used to be on all the pre-season tours. Cheers, guys. Yeah, well, I got my Jaeger, and I got this, and happy birthday shats, and all this crap, and he'd get a free flight to fucking Australia. Yeah, he has actually visited Rwanda, by the way. Why? Because the club paid for it. No, maybe Visit Rwanda paid for it. Why isn't Mikel Arteta? But anyway, he used to be out there giving it to Bertie. Ian Wright, another one. Wheel out Righty. Woohoo! Wheel out Righty with the merch. We haven't seen him wheeled out with merch anymore, have we? Since in the Euros last year, he sat there and dared to question Bukayo Saka playing at left back for Cole Palmer playing right wing. Since then, he's the enemy of Arsenal. Because it's a cult. It's a cult. Thierry Henry, and I will pin some comments in a bit, guys. Thierry Henry has sat there on CBS Sport and said, what is he talking about? Best team in the competition. This guy said, how tall is the building? How tall is the ceiling? The king has spoken. But don't worry, guys. He's jealous of Mikel Arteta. Their words, these Top Gooners' words. Jealous of Mikel Arteta, considered one of the greatest footballers ever to have played football, is apparently jealous of Mikel Arteta. Oh, he said it's a tall building. Thank you. See, that's why I love this comment section. You know everything, guys. Bless up to you. We're seeing Henry Talks Bollocks abandon his Spurs channel after being sat right next to me in my house, asking me, asking Rance, asking Said, how do I do this? Oh, but I don't get any super chats. Oh, how do I do? So we all tried to help him. Like, we're not the oracle of YouTube, we're not the oracle of football. However, consistency is king. Work rate is king. Yeah. When talent don't work, mate, roll your sleeves up. Unfortunately for him, he ain't got either. He ain't got work rate or talent. He's just a clickbait motherfucker that's latched onto my club now. And now most of his videos on the next channel he set up, which he said was for all clubs in the Prem, yet is dominated by Arsenal content. Every single player that we're linked to, he makes out to be a great signing for Arsenal. Anytime he does any Spurs content on that channel, he gets fuck all views. But don't worry, guys. He's going to get his plaque. And he'll get his plaque probably by the end of the transfer window. Worst ways, it'll be by maybe the end of the year. He'll have his plaque. Oh, I did this. Oh, what an achievement in 18 months. I did it quicker than Lee Gunner. Because that's all he gives a fuck about, getting a plaque. This is the same guy that spent money to drive his BMW all the way to the Football Content Awards, which is a scam in itself, which is owned by Snack Media, which owned a massive percentage of Flowers channel, which he's already explained to you on his channel before, which he managed to get back. Hence why She Rides Dick beat judges and people like that to a tiny little plastic award that says you're an FCA winner. That you could buy the whole event for about 30 grand, by the way. But anyway, that's another story. But don't worry, guys. He drove all the way from Essex to Manchester to not win an award. Because it's all about being seen here, seen there. Actively sitting on a stream playing poker. Playing poker, guys. Crazy work. With Hugh Wizzy, Flowers. Can't remember the guy's name from Redmen TV. Another one who put the Jurgen Klopp interview behind a paywall, by the way. The last interview behind a paywall on Redmen TV. The same guy that managed to get his channel back after he didn't even realize he'd flogged it. Crazy work, guys. But anyway, it's not about Liverpool. Big up Anfield agenda. Real one. Then you got Flowers that I did shows with, and he was telling me all the time Arsenal are scary. You're negative. No, but why aren't you doing this? Surely you'll be happy if this and this and this. What about this player? Oh yeah, Wizzy's another one. He was sat with Wizzy, bruv. That's it. I did say Wizzy, didn't I? He was sat with Wizzy. Another one. Don't even bother doing any streams on his channel anymore. Oh, mad thing. That guy used to interview me outside the Emirates for TalkSport 2. Crazy work. And then he sat there and had the audacity to sit on a fucking stream when Chig died, or before Chig died, my bad. Yeah, making out he was wanking on camera. Good one, mate. Good one. Never spoke to the geezer ever again. And now, as soon as the deal runs out with whatever company's tucked up for a few quid a month, it'll go back and start live streaming watch-alongs again. Crazy work, isn't it? But anyway, this is what the industry, as Flowers calls it, is. But we have to look after the fan channel community. Yeah, Flowers' words, the white knight of YouTube days. The same guy that was sitting there reading out super chats, cussing me out every single week. Yeah, clickbaiting me up, openly admitting that he clickbaited me up. When we played Lons and we were 4-0 up inside 20 minutes, 29 scored in that game. I was already trending on Twitter for 2 days straight anyway. He then posted out me not celebrating 29's goal. What about the other 3 goals we scored in that 24 minutes? So I texted him and said, what the fuck are you doing? He then made out that we had a pact because of mental health. Well, he knows I don't believe in mental health. And that's my opinion. Some of you guys do, hence why I've shared therapy on this channel, because a lot of you guys do. You do suffer from it. I personally don't. However, I've actively shared that website more times than the guy who owns it, Philip, who's from Sweden, bless up to him, asked me to. But anyway, these men all take a pound note. They'll take Stocks FC, actively promoting gambling. They'll take other gambling shit. They'll be getting paid a few quid to play poker on streams, guys. We've taken 2. One was Therapy, a mental health website, and one was Emma Sleeps, which is the best mattress I've ever had. That's it. When did you ever see Said or Rance taking all this shit? Oh, you don't. Cool. Hence why we're doing well, and these men are fucking rattled. And they are rattled. I know factually they're all rattled. And I know they're all watching. And you ain't going to do shit because you know I know way too much about everything, brother. So you can all hold that. You can all sit back, get your popcorn out, cry, scream and shout at your camera, sit with your pals, sit with your missus, sit with your boyfriend, unicorn, non-binary, get angry. Nobody fucking cares because you ain't going to do a damn thing about it. Making out, oh, well, Lee said, it's not you that's getting all the backlash. If I put these clips out of rosy red cheeks, angry cheeks with steam coming out of his ears, yeah, and the title didn't match the angriness and clickbait. Actively, Flower said that on his channel. It's not about the backlash. I don't even read comments, mate, apart from in a live. Why do you think I do lives? I ain't going to sit there and read all the comments back on a fucking upload, mate. Yeah, which is why I like doing lives, because I like interacting, like getting to know your personalities. Yeah, these men only pin super chats. And they actively ask for them. Flower's another one. 5 red super chats will give away a PS5. 5 red super chats is 500. How much is a PS5? 30 yellow super chats is 300. I'll give away 2 Premier League tickets. He's going straight on Ticketmaster. I'm paying 140 for the pair and sending them to you. But you've paid for them. Chasing clout is a crazy thing, you know. Crazy thing, you know. And this is what a lot of these people are doing, which is why going forward into next year, I'm only working with the people I want to work with again. Yeah, I can't, and listen, I can't personally commit to midday live. I can't. And I love Said to pieces. It's not a diss at Said or any of the guys that go on the channel, but I ain't doing it. Yeah, Potsy, another one. Can't commit to 2 shows a week on Potsy's channel, so I can't do it. If I can do it when I can do it, I'll do it. Rants I can commit to because it'll be on a Friday and there'll be a watch along straight after. And I can do the press conference reaction, jump on his channel, then there's a watch along for La Liga on a Friday night. It's the only channel I'm going on next season, week in, week out. And that is not a diss at Said or Dan Potts or LB or anybody else, yeah, Don or any of them, because on anyone in general, because the people I jump on their channels are the people I actually rate. Yeah, the rest of them can jog on. Yeah, but I genuinely can't commit to Potts or Said next season. I can't. Can't do it. And that, listen, they've both been sweet with that. Yeah, they're cool with me. Spoke to both of them this week. Yeah, spoke to Potsy earlier. Spoke to Said yesterday. Yeah, they're sweet. Everyone's cool. Everyone's sound. Yeah, we're all vibes and we're chilling. Yeah, Said's class, man. I love Said. Same with Potsy. Yeah, and it's nice to see Potsy's flying as well, man. Yeah, the amount of subs he's on as well and the amount of graft he's putting in. Same with Said. It's nice to see Said out in South Africa. Yeah, same with Turkish Big Six and all of that. Bless up to all of them guys. Bless up to North. Anyone I've missed, sorry, but I ain't got time to sit here reeling out everyone's names that I like. But, however, these men actively, the ones I'm calling out, actively will do anything for a pound note. Gold bitch is another one. I told you 8 months, yeah, and there's 1,100 people. These likes are a disgrace, by the way. Yeah, and I may or may not do this Chelsea game. I don't know if I can be asked because I'll probably still be cooking because I ain't even got into the clips yet. We'll probably have it on and we'll just chef on here and I'll go to bed. But anyway, I told you guys 8 months ago, Gold Bitch and Flowers will buddy up together. Did I not? Am I lying? Oh, no, I don't lie. Funny that. Funny that. Crazy work. Told you all 8 months ago. 8 months ago. Crazy, isn't it? Crazy. When you know what's going on in terms of the games people are trying to play on this app, well, sorry to break it to you guys. Yeah. Hello. And I know they're all watching. Cry. Nobody cares. And I genuinely don't care. However, I will fucking call your bullshit out because you want it put in the group chat, share it around. And we want your opinions on it. Well, I'm giving you the opinions, bruv, and this is my group chat. Same as the other channel, my group chat. Yeah, because I've got over, well, it's probably touching 300 messages in the midday live group chat. No, it's 287 messages in the midday live group chat from last night, where Don and Goonie and everyone's just fucking spamming. I ain't got time to open them, read them, or listen to them all. I ain't got time. I've got Arteta out group chat. Big up the G's in that. Come on. Me, Kenny, Jez, so on and so forth. DJB. Yeah, there's a few others in there as well. Come on. That's how we roll. Yeah, I got messages sat in that from Sunday. And this is how it is. I ain't got time to be sitting in group chats, chatting absolute bollocks, trying to look for the next scam on how to make a few quid. Yeah, that's not what they're doing, by the way, but this is what a lot of people... Share it in your group chats. How is it possible that every single day Flowers has over 3,000 people watching him live, but the streams end 24 hours later, you go back and look, and it's on 16,000 views. 4.9k. Live. He then raids Hussam or Mo, and literally it goes up 70, 80, 100, 120. But you've got 3k people still watching live at the end of the show, mate. How comes I raided from the other channel with less than 1,000 people? I had fucking, 800 on, I think, when I ended the stream. And I had 374 people waiting to go live. How is it we spammed Juve Corner Cast last night and he went up 300 people like that? How? But Hussam and Judge Mo, when they're on the show, 4.9k people watching, he's wrapping the show up, so maybe 1,000 to drop off, 3.9k. They then raid the show they're both going on together from the show they're on all together, and only 200 people turn up. How is that even fucking possible? But anyway, don't worry, guys. 24 hours later, 4.9k for the majority of the show turns and equates into about 20,000 views, apparently. I fucking don't. Anyway, guys. Now I've grabbed your attention. Smash the likes up. Why am I rattled? Because these people are taking the fucking piss. That's why. Trying to make out that people like me, Standards FC. Why don't you just say my name? Standards FC. My club's been a fucking disgrace for nearly 20 years. I'm not having a dig at you, Anfield vibe, yeah? But when I've got people that don't even support the club chatting shit about my club, trying to make out that I'm negative, Arteta rats, that's Gold Bitch, the loud vocal minority of Arteta rats. How about fuck off back to Forest? How about that? Yeah, get out of here, man. Now, these people take the piss. Yeah, Tottenham fan chatting shit, sucking off everything about Arsenal. Man United fans sucking off Arsenal. Mainstream media, yeah, sucking off Arsenal. Why? Because they're all trying to keep the fucking gimmick going, mate. Unfortunately for them, the gimmick's finished. When was the last time we see Arsenal was scary? Because that was a thing for 2 years. I ain't seen any of it. Why aren't they commentating and posting out a fuck ton of videos about Man City because they've signed 10 players since January. If they sign Livramento or any other right back, they've signed a whole new starting 11 since January. Why aren't they scary? Why aren't we seeing constant bombardment of Man City content? Why? Oh, I'll tell you why, because it don't get you that. Because there's less Man City fans on the internet than there are Arsenal or Man United. Funny how it's Arsenal and Man United, isn't it? Two of the three biggest clubs. And now what they've started to do is realise, like I did tell everyone, as soon as the gimmick runs out, they go to the next fashionable team. Well, the next fashionable team, funny enough, is Liverpool. So they got the three biggest. Oh, but I'm a content creator for all channels. Of course you are. Because you can't talk about your own club because you ain't got a fucking clue what you're talking about. And nobody cares. How comes a channel with nearly 500,000, the terrorist, why don't he ever get clipped up? But I get clipped up more than any other football content creator. Why? Why does he never get clipped up? Why? Make it make sense. It's got apparently nearly 500,000 subs. Wow. Make it make sense. Nearly 500,000 subscribers. And you never, ever, ever get clipped. Well, we'll call it out then. So we'll clip it. We'll clip it to 1,100 people watching live right now. Cool. So for anyone who's seen this, apologies, because you would have seen it on the other channel for a bit anyway. But don't worry, guys, because Isak, guys, apparently there's a 200 million bid on the table, guys. 200 million bid. His words. Don't worry, we've got another clip after this, then we're going Henry Talks Bollocks. 200 million deal. 200 million. Isak to Liverpool, 200 million bid. And this is the thing that they do, yeah? They put a question mark on the end of it. They've made an actual statement, but then put a question mark on it that nobody's going to see because they're looking at your fucking clickbait thumbnail. Alexander Isak, 200 million deal. Isak to Liverpool, 200 million bid. Everyone forgets that. The question mark. Now, cool. I'll then read and share the screen for the article that he's reading for the journalist that wrote it after we play this. This happens every day, by the way. Oh, tomorrow they're... Oh, of course they are. Of course they are. Of course they are. Of course they are, guys. Hot take. Hot take, you're full of shit. It's not even a hot take. It's a real take. Anyway, carry on. Carry on. Because apparently it's a 200 million bid, right? 200 million bid, guys. There's another clip afterwards where he's talking about Man United, yeah, Arsenal, Tottenham, with Dan Potts, oh, and Chelsea, with Potts and LB earlier. Yeah, and watch the way he's sweat. In fact, let me start with that one. No, actually, fuck it. We're down this for now. Let's go. 200 million bid. His words. 200 million bid, guys. 200 million. His words. Let's go.
Serious breaking news from the Times and the Sunday Times this evening. Liverpool have the money. Liverpool have the available funds to go as high as 200 odd million pounds for Alexander Isak. A bid for the Swedish and Newcastle striker is expected.
Okay, cool. That was 30 seconds in, 36 seconds in. A bid is expected. Watch how slow he talks, emphasizes. Now listen to all the buzzwords and great big words and uses his hand movements. Go.
Newcastle
I'm going to chef you for another hour if I have to.
Contract to try and stop Liverpool, but
I thought
that
bid.
money offered will not be anywhere near the highest paid players at Liverpool, which FSG would be prepared to make Isak. We're going to delve into this story. We're going to take your calls. We want your views. We want your opinions. But this is gargantuan. This is massive. Potentially the biggest deal financially in the history of English football. One of the biggest deals in the history of football as well. Plus the dynamics ahead of the new Premier League season. This is huge. Hit the like button. Make sure you're subscribing. Let's do this.
Now listen to the bollocks. And then I'll read the actual article that he's reading from.
Welcome back to the Football Terrace, everybody. Get those like buttons smashed right now. Get that done before you go any further. Get this shared in the group chats.
Well, this is my group chat. We're sharing it.
Want to try and ascertain as many opinions as possible.
Well, here's an opinion, guys. This is mine. So get it shared in the group chats. I'm sharing it, bruv. I'm not putting it on 1.5 times speed. I want you to hear the over dramatic nature of the way this guy talks. The mad buzzwords. Apparently this guy's dyslexic. It's mad how he knows how to spell all these buzzwords and get these buzzwords out of his mouth. Because one of my friends, big up to my boy Nudge, is dyslexic and he can't even get some of these words pronounced properly. But don't worry, guys. Maybe he's probably not dyslexic. Who fucking knows? Anyway, carry on.
In relation to this news tonight, which I think is massive.
Massive.
I think this story is absolutely huge. And
Huge,
the source,
massive,
where is the source for this new
gargantuan
information? Comes from Martin Hardy, who is a Northern sports correspondent for the Times and the Sunday Times. If you're not familiar with these two outlets, they are they're all actually from the same.
They're owned by Rupert Murdoch, who used to own Sky.
But one of the most respected newspapers, not just in the United Kingdom and Britain, but across Europe and the world. And it's been stated that Liverpool have the funds to test Newcastle's resolve despite their spending this summer. Why is this significant? Because there's been so much talk of, can Liverpool spend anymore because of how much they've invested into Wirtz and other players? That's first and foremost. Secondly, the talk from January till the end of the season.
See the way he does mad long pauses to emphasize. Well, tetanus. Gargantuan, massive. It's huge. Well, fuck off, man. Get out of it.
Was if anybody was going to buy,
but he does that deep. He does that a lot as well.
If anybody was going to buy, if anybody was going to purchase, sorry, I've just seen Harry Kane miss an absolute sitter. But if anybody was going to buy, and if anybody was going to make Newcastle accept a bid, it was 150 million. We then saw that news change January till the end of the season.
Wait. This is where most people will miss what he said.
A Northern sports correspondent for the Times and the Sunday Times. If you're not familiar with these two outlets, they are they're all actually from the same news organization.
They're from News Corp, mate.
But one of the most respected newspapers, not just in the United Kingdom and Britain, but across Europe and the world. And it's been stated that Liverpool have the funds to test Newcastle's resolve despite their spending this summer. Why is this significant?
Right, he's going to tell us why this is significant.
Because there's been so much talk of, can Liverpool spend anymore because of how much they've invested into Wirtz and other players? That's first and foremost. Secondly, the talk from January till the end.
Right, that right there, most people that go straight over the head. The talk from January. We're in June, bruv. Now listen to this. So the talk from January, keep that in the back of your head for 1 second.
The season was if anybody was going to buy, if anybody was going to purchase, sorry, I've just seen Harry Kane miss an absolute sitter. But if anybody was going to buy, and if anybody was going to make Newcastle accept a bid, it was 150 million.
Right, it was 150 million from January. That was the talk from January to the end of the season, yeah? Cool.
We then saw that news changed.
We saw that news changed.
That news changed and it became 200 million.
200 million. So it's 150 from January onwards. That was the reports that were out there, guys.
Just a week ago.
A week ago, it was 200 million, yeah?
Northeast-based correspondence is going to be nearer 200 million than the 150 mark. This is such an interesting update. All the big Liverpool accounts now sharing this news.
So am I.
Liverpool have the funds to test their resolve.
Right, cool. So the journalist that he mentions, never said 150 or 200 million. He's taken reports from other journalists from last week and all the way back to January, claiming 200 million, 150 million, morphed it with this guy who says they have the resources to test their resolve. He's put them both together and made up a new fucking story. But he hates the mainstream media, guys. He's worse. Because I'm going to read the report out that he's reading from, but carry on.
Liverpool have the funds to look at this supposed £200 million asking price.
Supposed. But you said they've bid 200 mil. It's in your title. And it's in your thumbnail. Carry on.
And to get the deal done. Now, it's my personal belief that they would get the deal done for a lot less than 200 million, in my personal view.
Well, they've bid 200.
The deal could be done for somewhere, so I'm turning my television screen off, somewhere nearer the 150 mark, including bonuses. But of course, the salary would be massive as well. Now, it says that Newcastle are concerned an offer could be made as early as next month. Now, this is they
see how quick he said that.
Nearer the 150 mark, including bonuses. But of course, the salary would be massive as well.
Watch this.
Now, it says that Newcastle are concerned an offer could be made as early as next month.
As early as next month. As early as next month. But Newcastle are concerned that an offer could be made as early as next month. So now that's gone straight over your head as well. So reports from January suggest 150. Reports last week said 200. No bid's been made. This journalist has wrote an article saying that resources, Liverpool have them to test their resolve at Newcastle for Isak. So he's paired this journalist, who's just fucking wrote an article, with saying that a load of other two-bob fucking journalists as well have fucking said months or weeks and years ago, coupled them both together, made a whole new drama out of it, put it in his title, put it in the thumbnail, there's been a £200 million bid. Because of that one tiny bit, they're prepared to test their resolve. So straight away, light bulb moment, ding. Somebody said last week, there isn't this journalist that wrote this article tonight, or yesterday as it is now, said 200. Bang, £200 million bid. But he's covered himself by putting a question mark in the fucking title. Yeah, and saying, my personal belief is it'll be about the 150 mark, including add-ons. I'm just reporting on what's in the mainstream. His words. That's what he'll say. Every single fucking video is the same. These men have to be the first. And this is why, yeah, I swear, it's so jarring. It's so jarring. I'll read the article in a sec, but go on.
This is they think a bid could be made as early
They think
as
a bid
next
could be
month.
made as
Now, what's
early
significant
as
about this is
next
it's
month.
a newspaper report that's talking about there being a nervousness.
No, it never said nervous. It said concerned.
To what Newcastle think and feel. And why I think that is so significant, why I think that is so important to
It sounds like he's on
remember
edibles,
and
bro. I
look
can't
at
lie.
is the fact that via their own media correspondence, their direct contacts, it's Newcastle are calm, there's no issues, he won't be sold no matter what happens. That isn't the same that's coming out of, that isn't the same story that is coming out of other areas of the game. There's a bit more of a concern. Now, the second part of this story is even more significant.
Oh, this is mad significant, guys. Wait. This is insane. I mean, guys, make sure you're sitting down. If you're driving, pull over because you'll crash. Now, real talk, you'll crash the car. I mean, this is more significant. Bro, guys, girls, share this in the group chats. I want your thoughts and opinions on what's about to be said, guys. This is more significant, guys. Smash the likes. Stop anything you're doing. Put the baby down. Yeah, put the kettle down. Stop cooking. Leave it on simmer. Don't be driving. I swear to God. Sit down. This is mad significant. I said I'm parked. That's funny. I love you. You lot are fucking funny. This chat's class. Because nobody calls this bullshit out. Nobody clips him up. Because he bamboozles the majority of the retards that watch his channel because he talks very authoritatively. Mad hand gestures. Don't worry though, guys, because I'm only reporting on what's in the mainstream media. Anyway, guys, we've got a lot coming up on the show today. We want your thoughts and feelings and opinions. Get the likes up. Make sure to subscribe. Share it around the group chats. Tell us more. This is mad significant, guys.
an element here of confirmation bias from me because it feeds into what I was talking to Potsy and LB
Which
about
we're
this
going to in a
afternoon.
minute, by the way.
But it says Newcastle are prepared to make Alexander Isak the best paid player in their history. Now, I've got a video that's dropped on my other channel, Terry Flewis TV. Go check it out.
Now, that was formerly the Squad TFT, which he openly said on a show was KJ's channel, which suddenly gained 37.4k subscribers in 1 month, by the way. Crazy work from 0. Unbelievable, guys. Funny, that coincided with me, Rants and Syed, all hitting 100k inside 6 weeks of each other. Anyway, carry on, because this is mad significant. He's deflected already, so carry on, because now you're sitting there on edge. Fucking hell. What's this fucking significant news, bro? Fucking TMZ, you should get the fuck out of it. Carry on.
Would you believe me if I
No, I
told
wouldn't
you
believe
I made
anything
this
you say, you're
CRM
fat.
tool without even knowing how to code? Here.
Out at the end, go and subscribe to that channel, please. But if you just read that headline, you go, if you're a rival of Liverpool, you go, thank God for that. Thank God for that. If you're a Newcastle fan, you're saying, way man, I can't do accents, but you know what I'm saying? You're saying all that.
Deflection.
But it's the next paragraph.
It's the next paragraph. And you all sat down, guys, because this is crazy. You're not going to believe what he's about to drop here.
It's the next paragraph, the next few words. And I can't do accents, but you know what I'm saying? You're saying all that and you're relaxing. But it's the next paragraph that's sobering. It's the next paragraph.
Next paragraph. So he says it twice, and it's sobering, guys. Mad fucking. I mean, you're sitting there on the edge of your seat. You're like, what the fuck? Just fucking tell me, bro. It's like a cliffhanger in EastEnders. No, I have to wait until tomorrow, bruv. Crazy work. Tell us. Come on. It's sobering, guys.
Words. At the very least, I know for a fact we'll be sending a chill down the spine of Newcastle fans.
Tell me.
And it says that any contract offer from Newcastle would not match the highest salaries at Anfield.
They basically can't afford to pay 400 grand a week to Salazar, guys. Did that send a chill down your spine, guys? I mean, this is sobering. I mean, this is amazing. I mean, I'm sober. This is unbelievable work, guys. It's sobering news, guys. I mean, this is groundbreaking stuff, guys. From the market leader, the White Knight of the platform. Okay, cool. Fantastic. I mean, this is unbelievably groundbreaking. You got anyone? Oh, man said I'm freezing. Do you know what I'm saying? You all got to chill down your spine, guys. I will come back to the comments and pin some and chat a bit. Yeah. I've got the Chelsea game on. I might swerve onto that channel after I've cooked a bit more, because we need to cook. When he mentioned about the Poxy show with LB earlier, we need to cook a clip on that as well. I mean, this is unprecedented stuff, Stubbsy. I was absolutely sloshed off of the fucking 7 cans of 33 CL. What's the volume on these? 4.5% beers. I mean, now I'm wide awake, bruv. I'm sober now, bruv. Like, it's crazy. Shiver me timber. Shut up, man.
With the club still constrained by the Premier League's profit and sustainability rules.
Which, by the way, they are above Liverpool in... According to The Athletic. Newcastle are 10th, Liverpool are 12th. But carry on, because this is sending chills down my spine. I'm shivering. Shiver me timbers.
Why?
I said I got hypothermia.
Newcastle under those strains. It does say that Newcastle hope that their own qualification for the Champions League will be a factor in the player not seeking a move. This story, this little bit of news,
this little bit of news,
peccadillo of information.
This little what? This little what?
This story, this little bit of news, this little peccadillo of information is so important. They are hopeful that Newcastle getting the Champions League makes him stay. They can't offer him the same money Liverpool can because they are constrained by PSR. Why, people may ask?
Why?
Yes, their income is going to jump by 150
Big up Melissa,
to 150 million
You've been
pounds
for
being
years.
in the
Where
Champions
you been,
League.
babes?
Maybe not as high as that, more like 100 million.
Oh, no. See, this will go straight over people's heads as well.
Yes, their income is going to jump by 100 to 150 million pounds being in the Champions League. Maybe not as high as that, more like 100 million. The problem is they can't commit that money. They can't turn around to Isak and go, right, we'll pay you 300,000 pound a week. They can't do that.
Right. Well, 300,000 pounds a week is 15 million a year, there or thereabouts. So if they put him on a 4-year contract, he's already got 3 years left. So if they add another year on, do the new terms, that's 15 million times 4. That's 60. But now you have to factor in he's on 120 a week. So you have to take 120 off times 60 months, mate, 4 years. So he'll be getting 180 grand a week pay rise with 1 extra year added on for 4 years instead of the 3 he's on. But he's just said that they're going to get at least 100 for being in the Champions League, guys. Well, they also get 100 for being in the Prem, so there's 200. Their income revenue last year, obviously before they paid anything out, was 320.3 million, which was a 28% increase from the season before. So surely now they're in the Champions League, that's going to go up again, right? But they can't commit to paying this guy 180 grand a week extra to what he's on already, which is 120. They can't put him on 300, 180 grand a week. 180. Yeah, 180, guys. 180 times 60. Whoops, fucked that up. 180 times 52 times 4. It's 37.4 million, guys. Extra to what he's already on. But he's just blatantly sat there and said minimum 100 million for getting in the Champions League, guys. So still have what? 62.5 million pounds left of that Champions League money, right? Now you've got to add in as well the players that are leaving. Kieran Trippier, he's on over 100 grand a week. All the other players that are leaving. So you're telling me they can't afford 35 to 40 million pound extra on top of what he's already getting paid to put him on a extra 180 grand a week would cost there or thereabouts 40 million, let's say. Let's just round it up. Let's say 40 million. But he's already on 120 a week, so it's only 180 grand a week pay rise. But Livramento could be going. But don't worry, guys. Carry on. And then I'll read the actual article out that he's reading.
Can't do it because that would suddenly mean that's a 15 million pound commitment over a 5-year period. 78 million pounds they have to put onto their debt.
78 million, guys. No, it's not. It's 75 million. But it's not because he's already on 120 grand a week. So you have to deduct that off as well, right? 120 grand a week. Every year surely has to come off of that as well, right? Surely that has to come off as well. It's a 15 million pound a year commitment. But he's already on wages. He's not doing it for free.
Commitment over a 5-year period, 78 million pounds they have to put onto their debt book, essentially, because that's a guaranteed payment. It's not like a
big up
unless they sell him. It's not like a normal everyday employee where if you can give them 2 weeks or a month's notice.
Now he's waffling again, diverting you away from what he actually just said.
That contract has to be paid. It's a very different scenario. You then have the situation of, well, other players are going to want pay increases. It's not like a normal everyday employee where
which is under contract as well, the majority of them.
You can give them 2 weeks or a month's notice and you can dismiss them or make them redundant.
Well, that actually depends on how long they've worked at the company, by the way, but carry on.
That contract has to be paid. It's a very different scenario. You then have the situation of, well, other players are going to want pay increases as well.
Fair point.
The Brunos of this world, the Joe Linsons, the other star names, Anthony Gordons. So suddenly they're in a position where, well, it might be 15 million a year extra for Isak, but then
it's not 15 million a year extra. It's not, is it? It's not 15 million a year extra, though, is it? It's 75 million over 5 years, yeah? He's currently on 120 a week times 52 times 3 years that he's got left. So it's a 56.2 million commitment over 5 years, which what equates to just over 10 million a year, mate. 11 million a year. 11 million a year extra. So it's an 11 million a year extra. Yeah, he's currently on 120 grand a week. So let's say it's anywhere between 9 million and 11 million a year extra commitment. But you've just told us that they're in the Champions League. And it's 100 million minimum, maybe 150. So it's not a 15 million a year commitment, is it? Fair enough. He's got a good point with other players might want that and want more money. So you just give him a little 50 grand a week, 30 grand a week pay rise. Cool. Fantastic. Fantastic. No drama. However, it's not a 15 million a year commitment, is it? Because he's already on wages, guys. So just to clarify that, just so you know, this is what Newcastle's current wage bill looks like. This is actually Liverpool's wage bill. So he would be, if he was at Liverpool on, say, 300 grand a week, he would currently be their third highest earner. Cool. Go to Newcastle. Cool. He's currently on 120, guys, 6.2. He's got, that's not included. So on the 1st of July, that had dropped to 3 years. All of these figures, you need to take one off on the 1st, yeah? So, Crafe's leaving. There's 55 grand saved, unless he signed a new deal. Jamal Lewis, there's another 45 grand. Lascelles, they're all out of contract. All the ones with a 1 are out of contract unless they sign a new one. Callum Wilson, unless he signed a new one. So you've saved about £250,000 there. Just off the people on 1 year. There you go down there, unless any of these have signed. So now add in the 100 million, maybe 150 million. You're telling me they can't give him 180 extra to put him on 300, give him a little cheeky 40, 50 extra, and give him 80. And guess what? You still ain't done your fucking 100 million for the Champions League campaign this year, bruv. That's without any other sponsors that you get, renewals of other contracts, of course, blah, blah, blah. That's without any sales going out the club. Livramento, for example, he could potentially be leaving. Almost like they're chatting shit, isn't it? But anyway, carry on, Flowers, because you're the know-all. You seem to know what you're talking about. Why did I share that again? Crap. So it's 78 million, not 75 million. I thought 15 times 5 was 75. It's obviously 78, guys. You're not cool like Flowers.
Maybe there's 20, 30, 40, 50 million in totality. The new signings are then going to want more money. And the problem is at this stage for Newcastle is, yes, there's
right there. The new signings will want more money. When did Livramento and Lewis Hall sign? Because Livramento's on how much? And Lewis Hall was on 7 grand. And that website's pretty fucking accurate as well. Lewis Hall, 7 grand a week. They could sell Lewis Hall right now for 45 million quid and get that. Do you know why? Because they ain't put him on fucking 80 grand a week. Which is why Quansah, who was on 30 grand a week at Liverpool, has been sold for 30 million quid. But don't worry, guys. We've got Zinchenko going into the last year of his contract on the 1st of July, and he's on 150. We'll be lucky to get 15 million for him. And this is why, when you look at that wage structure they had, everyone's in line with how good they are as a player. Same at Liverpool. Everyone was in line with how good they are as a player. They and what they've achieved. But don't worry, at Arsenal, everyone's on top dollar. We'll carry on.
Champions League money, but it's one season. If they commit to spending...
It's not one season. They've qualified twice out of the last 3. and they've won a cup as well, which will ultimately bring new sponsorships. But don't worry, guys. It's only one season. No, they've qualified twice out of the last 3 years. And if Mbappe hadn't have dived, they would have got out of the group stage the first year they qualified because it was a dive. It was never a penalty. But they had to get PSG there, didn't they? Of course. Carry on. Because it's a conspiracy. Carry on.
Huge transfer fees, plus massively increasing their wage bill, and they don't re-qualify for the Champions League. That's a genuine black hole because the revenue will drop. And when football clubs budget for the next 2, 3, 4 years ahead, Champions League money, as an example, is typically a bonus to their budget. Man United are not in the problems the media said because we budgeted to not be in Europe. If we made it, then we'd have even extra.
No, because you're Manchester fucking United, mate. Your income's ridiculous. What are we actually doing here? Oh yeah, sorry, yeah, it wasn't dive. It was handball. My bad. Yeah, and it weren't handball. You're right. How is he comparing Newcastle and Man United's incomes? Man United are one of the biggest clubs in the world, no matter how shit they may be. They're huge. They're one of the biggest clubs in the world.
Have a little bit extra to spend, but some clubs do it. Villa.
And not only that, Manchester United can borrow as much fucking money as they want because they're Manchester United. And their income, how much was Man United's revenue last season? $660 million. Well, that was double Newcastle's, by the way. Newcastle's was 320.3. Theirs is 660. And that was the New York Times. The article, yeah, that he's not reading off of, but that is the New York Times, which is The Athletic. Which he uses all the time as a major source. Despite recording their lowest finish in the Premier League era, 15th, United triggered their projected revenue guidance to 24-25 campaign between 660 and 670 million, expecting to be at the higher end of the range. Newcastle's was 320 million. But don't worry, guys. Newcastle are guaranteed 100 million for being in the Prem, guaranteed 100 million for being in the Champs, according to him. But they can't afford to pay Isak another 37.4 million over the next 5 years on top of what he's already getting paid, which he didn't factor in the first place. But this is all irrelevant, guys, because Liverpool bid 200 million for him. His words. It's in the title. It's in the title, guys. It says it there. It's on the thumbnail.
Now they're in financial trouble. Leicester did it to get promoted into the Premier League. They gambled they'd be able to stay up. That backfired. Now, because they're going to have a reduction in income, they've fouled PSR and they're in trouble. And Newcastle.
They're still going to get their fucking 105 million over the next fucking 3 years in parachute payments, mate.
Can take that gamble, but I don't think they will. So
Newcastle ain't going to take that gamble. I don't think he realizes how caked Newcastle are. And that's not because they got the richest owners on the planet. It's because they are absolutely fucking caked because the way they run their football club, their fucking revenue went up 28% last season. Now they're in the Champions League. It's going to go up again. I don't think he understands.
They've got these PSR restraints according to
this article.
The fact that Liverpool are now kind of briefing that we have the money to get this done. Newcastle are fearful of a bid. Newcastle are worried about losing this player.
Says it there.
At the very, very least, this deal is real. At the very least, this deal could happen. And I know that Newcastle fans will say, no, the player is committed to us. No,
think about it, quick. Come on, quick.
Committed to us. We're not going to sell. We won't negotiate. Liverpool haven't walked away yet. And until the day that the likes of James Pearce say it's not viable, it's not an option, Liverpool have looked elsewhere, this deal is on, and this deal is genuinely active. It has legs to it. At the very least, it has legs. At the very least. So Will it happen that there's still a chance he stays? I've said that all along. I haven't changed my mind. Terry Newcastle are very scared of a Liverpool bid, is what Ali says here. Sophie, big up Sophie, says, but at the same time, Isak's value on our PSR through his amortization has dropped massively. This is true. This is very, very
come
true.
on, Newcastle fans, Soph, love you, babes. Cook him. Now, let's listen to what he spins out of this shit. In fact, let me get a beer real quick. Yeah, I'll do the second half of this Chelsea game on the other channel, yeah? Let's see what he spins out of this. She's absolutely mudded him. Hold that. 1 second, guys. I'm going to have a quick piss. 1 sec. Right, mates, let's carry on. Right, smash these likes up as well. Put it in the group chats, guys. I want your thoughts and opinions because this deal is gargantuan. It's huge. It's real. It has legs. Don't worry about the fact that, you know, we haven't factored in that he's already getting paid 6.2 million a year. Doesn't matter. It's now an extra 78 million over 5 years at 300 grand a week. And you know what? None of you even caught it either, did you? Because it is 78 million. None of you got it, bruv. None of you got it. Because you know why? You know this guy chat shit. This guy used to apparently work at Barclays doing football accounts and finances. And he's told us it's 78 million over 5 years, which it factually is. It factually is. Because there's 52 weeks in a year. 300 grand a week over 5 years, guys, is 78 million. But this is the very same guy that told us on multiple shows that some of you guys in this chat will remember. And that's why I fucking thought, let me say it, because somebody's got to call me out for it. And none of you called me out for it. This is the same guy that sat there and said footballers do not get paid weekly, first and foremost. Yeah. And they only get paid over the course of the whole year for 50 weeks, not 52. His words on multiple shows years ago. And that's why I said, no, it's 300 grand. No, it's 75 million, mate. Not one person called me out on it. And that's how easy it is to finesse people. It's how easy it is to finesse people. It is factually 78 million. But he's told us that when he worked at Barclays doing player accounts for Premier League players and this and that and finances and all that, yeah, he's told us it only accounts for 50 weeks, not 52. And that is how quick you can finesse people. But Soph has called him out. So let's see what his comeback is to this, guys. Anyone who didn't see it will rewind it.
He says here, Sophie, big up Sophie, says, but at the same time, Isak's value on our PSR through his amortization has dropped massively. This is true. this is very, very true because, of course, whatever you paid for him is pretty much, you may have even paid the whole thing off by now, which will help. At the same time, though,
which will help. See how quick he threw that comment away. Which will help. When did Isak sign? Signs for Newcastle. (2022). So potentially they could have. I'd imagine they probably haven't. But at the same time, £63 million. What was the length of the contract? Does anyone know the length of the contract, guys? Let's go transfer marks. Let's tell me. Has he signed a new one since he's been there? 6 years. It was 6 years. His contract expires in 2028. 6 years. 6 years. So, working on that basis, let's say they paid 10 million up front. A fucking geezer in that McLaren's ragging his car. One day he's going to go around that roundabout and he's flipping it straight off the bridge. So let's say they've paid 10 million up front. In fact, fuck that. Let's say they paid 13 million up front. They had 50 million left to pay. 50 million left to pay. And let's say they spread that over the next 5 years. They've literally got fuck all left to pay for him, really. They've paid over half. They're pretty sweet, bruv. This whole Newcastle are PSR'd up and they're fucked is a load of bollocks. Load of rubbish. But anyway, carry on, Tel, because we need you to explain to Sophie B. Big up Sophie B.
Where Newcastle still have restraints is the turnover at your club. I think the last accounts I saw was only still 315 to 320 million.
Ah, he got that figure right, though. It's 320 million, which was an increase of 28%. Carry on.
Put that into context.
Buzzword, context.
Liverpool pay more than that in salary to their players. There's a long way to go.
1 second, guys. Let's see if that is the case. 320 million, yeah? They pay more than that to their players, guys. So, Newcastle's total wage bill for the year for their players is 90. Well, let's just round that up to 96 million. Let's have a look at Liverpool. Oh, really? Wow, crazy work. Crazy work, guys. 148. Where's it gone? Motherfucker, this website's so jarring. 148. So let's round that up to 100. Well, let's round that down. 148. So that's not what they pay to their players then, is it? It's actually 49 million more. Sorry, hold on. What was Newcastle's again? So 148, 96. Oh, okay, cool. What are we actually doing there? 96. In fact, even fuck it. Let's just round it up. 149. So that's 50 odd million more then. 52 million more. Interesting. Interesting. Look at average weekly salary at Liverpool, by the way. 77 grand a week average per player. Let's have a look at Newcastle. $55. Not a million miles away, is it? Not a million miles away, guys. Not a million miles off. 55 grand. It's 56, really, isn't it? Let's just round it up. But don't worry, guys. They pay 320 million just in wages to Liverpool. This is the fake news that gets spread around the internet, guys. And nobody calls this shit out. Let's round that up. Incredible, guys. Anyway, let's carry on and see what he said, and then we'll go on to the bullshit he was talking with Potts and fucking LB earlier. And that clip's only a little one.
The Liverpools and the Cities and the Man Uniteds and the Chelseas are turning over 6, 7, 8, 900 millions a year. Like City are turning over 3 times the amount of money that Newcastle are. And what?
Okay, cool. We'll stop right there. Newcastle's wage bill, as we've just seen for the players, was 96 million. Their income, turnover, whatever you want to call it, was 320 million. His words. So 1/3 is going on wages to the first team. Cool. So we just come back out of that for 1 second. And then we go back into that. Man United's, he says 600. It was 660, 670. We agreed earlier off of the New York Times. So let's just go back into that again, yeah? What was Liverpool? Liverpool revenue. I can fucking spell. Revenue 2024, 25. 2024, 25. 2024, what can why is it in fucking dollars? I want it in pounds. I've frozen, I. Bear with me, guys. It's frozen. Go away, Anna. Okay, bye. 710 million. 710 million. It'll come back. It comes back with a white screen or a black screen. I'll jump out, jump back in. Man said you're obsessed about Liverpool. Who, me? Is Anfield Vibe talking to me? Obviously, you're new round here, or this is Tim's on a fucking burner account. Bro, nobody cares, bruv. It's chatting to the wrong person. You're in the wrong chat to be chatting shit to me. But I'm obsessed with Liverpool. I've said you're the classiest club in the league multiple times. That's obviously Tim's on his burner account. Cheers for watching. Anyway, we will be back soon as this fucking unglitches. There we go. I'll be 1 sec. Right. So, 710 million Liverpool. The wage bill for their first team is 148, 149 if you want to round it up. 148 if you want to round it down. Man United's income was 670 million. Their wage bill is 173 million for their first team. But this is where this geezer thinks he's slick, yeah? Because he then adds in every single member of staff at the club. Tea lady, the cleaner, the chef, and that is where, and he'll always have a get out. He'll always say, yeah, oh, but that's the total wage bill. No, we're talking about the players. So Manchester United's playing staff are getting paid 174 million. Average is 81 grand a week. Let's have a look at Arsenal. Wow, look at ours. Wow, it's almost like we're fucked, isn't it? Keep telling everyone. Average player, 113 grand. Always like, we're fucked. Keep telling you. You will wake up one day and you'll go, oh, I always thought you were negative, but you're right. Yeah, well, cool. I'll see you in a couple of years then when it's all gone shit. And you'll blame the next manager for it going shit. It's what it is. But anyway, guys. Man United's income was 670. Their wage bill was 173, 174. Liverpool's was 149, 148, and their income was 710. What's Arsenal's income? £616.6 million, guys. 616.6, 170 million wage bill, guys. So Newcastle, just to reiterate, 320 million. He's already confirmed that. And he's the Oracle. He's the White Knight, guys. And Newcastle's wage bill, if it fucking loads. What are we doing here? Is 96 million. Okay, cool. But they're skint. They can't afford nothing, guys. They can't afford nothing. They're dusted. Anyway, carry on. And then we're going to share the next clip. And I will do the second half of this Chelsea game on the other channel. But carry on.
Newcastle, I don't think are going to do, because I think they're very well run. I think they've got very savvy owners.
Hold on. Newcastle are very well run, but apparently, according to him, they're struggling for PSR. How does that make sense? See, these things go over people's heads. How is a club very well run if they're fucked on PSR?
They are not going to commit to 80-90% of their turnover being paid in salaries, plus spend all that Champions League money in one summer and put players on massive wages and risk in kind of an attempt in the short term to jumpstart the process. Risk going back a couple of years, because that could also happen. You know, if you overspend and you don't qualify for the Champions League, and then you have to suddenly start selling off 2, 3, 4 assets to comply with PSR, it could set you back a few years. So it's a really interesting position they find themselves in. From a Liverpool point of view, look, this deal, Harry here says,
this deal, let me swerve away, quick.
It hasn't gone. And for me, listen, I don't think Liverpool would pay 200 million.
So why have you put in this out?
I don't think it will ever be as high as that. I think you'll find it'll be more, you know, you could see a 125 or 130 with 30, 40, 50 million pound of add-ons, some of it performance related, some of it appearance related, and then some of it connected to the team. Some of it connected to the team winning a certain amount of trophies in a set period of time. And so there might be a couple of, you know, a 10 million, you know, add-on that's very difficult. It might be the player's got to score 20 league goals, win a Premier League.
It's just reporting what's out there in the news, guys.
And win a Ballon d'Or in the same season. And these kind of clauses have existed before, and they'll exist again.
Quick grab. They've existed before, and they exist again.
What I do think will cost about 200 million, though, for Liverpool is everything all included. The player's salary, the bid, the add-ons, I think will be around a 200 million pound investment. Okay, cool. Fantastic. I'm so fucking, because I ain't seen this bit, and I'm going to cut this in a second, and I'll watch the rest of it tomorrow. If I can be fucking asked, my motherland's in Malaga tomorrow. Well, today as it is now. Well, I'm so glad he said that. The wages, the fee, the add-ons, 200 mil, Now let me show you this, guys. I fucking love playing this game. It's great. Fantastic. Let's go back to Arsenal. Whoops. Let's go back to Arsenal. Cool. Look at this fucking pop up. Can somebody tell me, guys? Right there. That's including the season we're currently on, which ends on the 1st of July officially, Can somebody tell me how much we owe Jesus and 29? That includes the whole season we've just done. So that'll go down to 4 years and 2 years. So 3 years and 2 years. Can somebody tell me how much that adds up to? I will get the super chats in the comments in a second. You can't see it. Well, I'll tell you, it's 99 million, mate. 99,580,000 pounds from the start of the season we've just ended to the end of them 2 contracts for 29 and Jesus. We owe them 99.5 million, mate. That's without
the money we've already paid both of them for being here, plus the fee for both of them. Nobody shares this shit. Only me. Nobody shares this crap. When did we sign 29? 2 years ago? Was it 2 years ago or 1 year ago? Yeah, it was 23. When did we sign 29? I tapped out when we signed him. It was 2 years ago. He's been here 2 seasons, isn't it? Yeah, 2 seasons. Fucking hell, he signed a 6-year contract. No, sorry, I'm lying. 5-year contract. So 5 years on 14.5 million. Plus bonus, essentially, of 2.6 million. Jesus on 13.78 million. And he's been here 2 seasons as well, because that's obviously 2022, 23. No, fucking hell. It's been here 3 years, right? Has he been here 3 years? Yes, he was. He fucking hell, bro. 22, 23, 23, 24, 24. Fucking hell, bro. So we're going to pay out with a fee for 29 in Jesus, plus all the wages if they go the length of their contract without renewing and leave for free, plus any potential bonuses and or add-ons, plus agent fees. We're going to pay out the best part of £250 million for them too. 230, 240, 250 million for them too. But don't worry, guys. Don't worry, guys. It's great. This is fantastic. I mean, this is like, I mean, come on. What are we doing here?
Salary, for. So I see that happening. What I do think will cost about 200 million though for Liverpool is everything all included. The player's salary, the bid, the add-ons. I think will be around a 200 million pound investment by Liverpool Football Club to get this player. And the only thing I'm going to say about it is that at no point anywhere has anyone shut it down. What you hear is it could be difficult. It will be challenging.
Nobody shut it down.
It won't be easy. You hear that, but what I've not seen at any point for 3 to 4 months now surrounding this story is there is no chance Liverpool won't pay the asking price. The player will turn them down. For me, it's always been kind of open and...
Of course it has. The edibles have just kicked in, lads.
Doable.
We haven't seen a bid either, and you put it in your title.
And not a chance, 110 maybe, that's it. Listen, we will see. We will see what happens with this. I mean, if Liverpool...
That's what I'm saying. How are people commenting this shit? Why don't they say, yo, where's the bid? Right, now let me read you the article real quick, yeah? That he read from. And see the way he dramatized this bullshit, yeah? And this was the actual article. The actual article, guys. Newcastle willing to break club wage record to keep Isak. So how do you spin a £200 million bid out of a headline from the Times, from the guy that he was so gassed to fucking put in there at the beginning? Oh my God, this is, if you want to know the source, it's Martin Hardy, Northern sports correspondent for the Times. They're considered, not just in the UK or Europe, but around the world. Them and the Sunday Times are considered the GOATs. Well, not the GOATs, but he did say one of the most, what did he say? Well-respected. They're owned by News Corp, mate, which is literally a load of bollocks. The guy Rupert Murdoch used to own Sky Sports. Interesting. Anyway, you've spun £200 million bid out of that headline. Liverpool past Arsenal shown interest. I'm going to show you another clip in a minute. Yeah, it's only about 2-3 minutes long of him, Potts, and LB earlier. Fucking hilarious. Yeah, waffling again, deflecting, changing the fucking narrative. Yeah, bamboozling people to the point where everyone forgets what the actual original question was. And Potts and LB sat there looking baffed. Yep. Liverpool, Barcelona, and Arsenal were shown interest in the Sweden striker. When was that then? While Newcastle are constrained in his salary by profit and sustainability rules. So if they're constrained, the headline don't marry up to the next line, the first paragraph. That makes no sense. That contradicts itself straight away. Funny enough, that's what he does. Newcastle are prepared to make Alexander Isak the best paid player in the club's history and fight off any approach for the star striker. These motherfuckers have scored. Motherfuckers. Chelsea 1-0. After a season where he scored 23 goals, blah, 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 blah. Liverpool, yeah, repeating himself again. Newcastle bosses, here we go, guys, are ready to begin talks on a new deal that would take the 25-year-old salary from beyond 150 a week and overtake the likes of Sandro Tonali, Bruno Guimaraes, and Anthony Gordon, who are at present the top earners, which we've already seen they are. Sit down, guys. Wait for this. Because he was gagging, chomping at the bits to tell us that this guy wrote an article and there's a 200 million bid, bruv. Liverpool have the funds to test Newcastle's resolve, despite the acquisition of Florian Wirtz for a British record fee that could rise to 116 million and a summer spend that has already reached 200 million. It's the only time the guy mentioned 200 million. And anyone who's been here listening to this, he coupled in reports that he never mentioned who the source was. Oh, I've seen other only as last week from January, so on and so forth. I beg you score, you dickheads. And coupled that together to make a whole new story. Where's this guy said that Liverpool have bid 200 million? Newcastle are concerned an offer may be made as early as next month. He scored 62 goals, 3 years, 63 million move. Liverpool are thought not to be actively seeking a number 9. So why are they going to do 200 million bid, Denzel? They would be among clubs that will compete for his signature if he wanted to leave. He has 3 years left on his contract. He's not given any indication to move. Any contract offer for Newcastle will not match the highest salaries at Anfield. Well, we already knew that. And he keeps mentioning this guy. With the club still constrained by Premier League profit and sustainability rules, Newcastle hope that their own qualification for the Champions League is a factor in the player not seeking a move. Piff and Eddie Howe do not want to lose the striker because they've helped him develop. Now watch this. Goal tally on Mohamed Salah outscored him, blah, 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 blah. Won a major honour, first time in 70 years. Now watch this bit, yeah? A new deal was put on hold last summer by his agent. Newcastle are relaxed about the situation during the season despite increasing interest. This is the best bit of the whole fucking article. Meanwhile, the club that apparently fucked for PSR. Oh, they've had a £45 million bid for Anthony Elanga, who's Swedish, rejected by Forest today. That 45 million bid, by the way, is 7.5 million less than if you put Alexander Isak on 300 grand a week from his current 120. It's 37.44 million if you put 180 grand on it for the next 5 years. They're bidding 45 mil, and that'll be over 5 years. So it's cheaper to keep Isak. You save 8 mil, bruv. 7.5 mil. But apparently they're fucked. Anyway, less of this bullshit because we know he's a waffler. Let's go to the next one. Another one. They'll do the second half. Let's go to the next one. Let's see if he's changed the title because we know he's in. No, he's kept it. He's kept it. Don't worry, you can. Oh, there's 48 people waiting. Yeah, of course there is, mate. Of course there is. Well, anyway, this one here. This one here, geez. This one here, geez. Deal close. Deal close, guys. It's always a deal close, isn't there? There's always a deal close. Listen to the way he spins this bullshit, yeah? Listen to this.
Real talk, I'd rather be Spurs and win that.
Here's one real life question to that. Would you rather be Spurs of the last 5 years or Arsenal of the last 5 years?
Listen to this for the next 3 or 4 minutes.
Who's one more?
Real talk, I'd rather be Spurs and win that.
Who's one more? Both of them said the same thing. Ready?
There's a real life question to that. Would you rather be Spurs of the last 5 years or Arsenal of the last 5 years?
Spurs.
Who's one more?
Real talk, I'd rather be Spurs and win that.
Who's one more? I'll go with whoever's
I'll
one
be
more.
deadly serious, yeah. I would have gone. I would rather be Spurs winning a Europa League than Arsenal with nothing.
I think you've got to do both. I think I've always been quite consistent with that. You've got to win and be competitive. Spurs have never really been competitive in the last 5. Have they? Maybe in one of the years they come near close to like the top 3, 4, whatever it was. But for me, I just want to be competitive and win trophies, man. And once we do that, I'm happy. You know.
If I offered you now, next 5 years, you win nothing, but you finish second every year, or you finish 4th, 7th, 8th, 17th, but you win a Europa League, which one are you taking?
Yeah, I'll take the trophy. Yeah.
Man in the middle looks baff, bruv. But anyway, wait till you hear this.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah.
A Manchester City fan and an Arsenal fan have both said to take the trophy. Nobody cares about league finish, basically. Obviously, Potsy did say he'd rather want to be challenging for the title, but also win trophies. Look at how happy LB is. I love LB. He's out here next month as well. I can't wait to see him again, man. He's a G, bro. But now the Man United fan that's seen more trophies than me growing up watching Man United as an alleged fan. Listen to the shit that comes out of his mouth in a minute.
I'd say I wouldn't.
8th,
This ain't even the best bit.
But you win a Europa League. Which one are you taking?
Yeah, I'll take the trophy. Yeah.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah. I'd say I wouldn't. Knowing if we're using the Spurs example, the reason is this: based on the standards that we all have for our clubs.
See the way he drops that in, based on the standards, because he look at Potsy's face. He's like, nah, this guy is waffling, bruv. LB's tapped out already. He's looking at his phone. He's like, fuck this. Now this is funny, man. So this is a guy that has grown up watching Manchester United serial winners in his entire fucking childhood into adulthood. Would not take the trophy because it's about league finish, guys. I'll tell you why he said that, because he has to keep the Arsenal scary and Arsenal this and Arteta gimmick going, because the majority of the people that watch his channel are Arsenal fans.
To even be in the Europa League is because you've had a failure of a season.
Factually incorrect. You can win the FA Cup and qualify. You can win the Conference League and qualify. But don't worry, guys. The White Knight of YouTube has spoken.
So I wouldn't pick that if I had a choice. I'd rather be the better team, because I still think over a
The better team wins the trophy. Carry on.
longer period of time, the teams that are coming second every year in title races have got a bigger chance of winning. Plus, I've looked at what I would still say this as a neutral to both Spurs and
look at their faces.
Arsenal, watching what Spurs fans went through. I know they got the trophy at the end of it, but I think if Arsenal were like Spurs in the last couple of years, but they picked up an FA Cup, I know they wouldn't be happy. Do you know why I know this? I saw you win 2 FA Cups under Wenger when you were still top 4, and they wanted him gone. So I don't think any Arsenal fans could see what Spurs have done for the past 4 years, winning Europa League at the end of it, and just say that's what I prefer. I think you'd still rather be up there competing, getting better, challenging.
But we want to be winning trophies alongside that.
No, I hear that, but that wasn't the question. Again, we're in a
hypothetical situation that I want to control, because I have to keep the Arsenal fucking gimmick going. Yeah, because that's where 90% of my fucking view, well, actually maybe 20% of the views come and the rest are bots. But anyway, carry on.
Hypothetical world. I don't know.
Again,
I
the
don't
question wasn't we'd be happy. The question was we take it. We'd bloody miserable, but we take the trophy as opposed to nothing. But I'd be
yeah,
miserable.
good point.
It
good
wasn't.
point.
Oh yeah, we're back. It's happy times. It's not, man. It's awful. You want to get.
Well,
to the next level.
you've won 2 trophies in the last 3 years.
Here we go, guys.
Mhm.
So last
If you-
3 years, would you
Yep.
rather have been United where you've won?
Right. Let me stop this right there. Listen real carefully to this bullshit, yeah? Listen to the question LB poses. And do you know what the baddest thing is? I don't watch this channel. However, I was going on to watch the second half of Spanning's last vlog, yeah? Big up the Aussie G, bro. Big up Spanning, bad boy vlogger. Yeah, when he was up Mount Everest. Was it Mount Everest? I think it was Mount Everest. Or whatever fucking mountain he was up, right? Anyway, as soon as I loaded up YouTube, this came up. And this was the point, yeah, that I'm sharing now that I heard. And I was just like, yo, what the fuck? Listen to the question LB asks him and listen to this guy who is allegedly a Man United fan, who has grown up watching Alec Ferguson and Man United absolutely dominate English football. Hey, yo, Spanian kebabs, are they good? Are they good? Spanion's a boy, man. He's a bad man. I love him. He's the best vlogger out there, bro. He's a proper guy, man. Fucking love that geezer. He was actually in Malaga the other week. He went to Ceuta. I don't know, Ceuta. And fucking all that shit. He actually drove past where I live. He put it on. It was on the vlog, Calahonda. But listen to this, yeah? Sit back, put your feet up. Let's go, guys. Listen to what LB asks and listen to the way this guy totally bamboozles everybody. Yeah. And thinks he's slick with it. He's grown up watching. In fact, since he probably started supporting Man United, he's probably seen about 30 trophies.
It's not, man. It's awful. You want to get.
Well,
to the next level.
you've won 2 trophies in the last 3 years, Terry.
Mm-hmm.
So last
If you-
3 years, would you
Yep.
rather have been United where you've won 2 trophies, or would you rather have been in Arsenal and won nothing?
So are we isolating it to the last 2 seasons and that's it? Football's over? Or are we? Or
No,
are we going?
I'm
beyond 2 years?
isolating. I'm isolating it.
So
And he never said 2 years. He said 3. He said 2 trophies. Is he on edibles or something? This guy looks fucking like he's not even interested.
Would you rather been in Arsenal and won
If you-
3 years? Would you
Yep.
rather have been years, Terry?
Mhm,
And it's awful. You want to get.
Well,
to the next level.
you've won 2 trophies in the last 3 years, Terry.
mhm.
So last
If you-
3 years, would you
Yep.
rather have been United where you've won 2 trophies, or would you rather have been in Arsenal and won nothing?
So are we isolating it to the last 2 seasons and that's it? Football's over? Or are we? Or
No,
are we going?
I'm
beyond 2 years?
isolating. I'm isolating it.
So if you're
I'm-
saying there's only
isolating.
2 years of football left, so I want to come second twice or win 2 trophies.
Look
If
at
there's
this.
only 2 years of football remaining, I'd rather win 2 trophies. Yes,
Look at
because
his
it's
face.
over, right?
Yeah.
But what about this summer? Arsenal could go on and win the league next year. Man United can't. So again, if you
Why
said
can't Man United? We all start on 0. We start on 16th of August. We all start on 0. The season starts 16th of August. We all start on 0 points. We play each other twice. You can win the league. You're Man United. You can win the league, mate. But anyway, carry on.
to me now, I could go back 3 years. I would have to scrap those trophies. But what I would get is a guarantee for the next 5 years of being a team that's legitimately able to win the league each year. I would take the gamble at winning the league and knowing that a team that could win the league could also pick up some trophies
Yeah, but
along
that
the way.
wasn't- that-
Right, hold on 1 second before Potsy cuts in. He just said a minute ago when we were playing the clips, yeah? He said there's no guaranteed, yeah, that the team that finishes second every year, yeah, blah, 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 yeah? Now listen to Potts. Man said, yeah, on LB's question, number 1, he said 2 years, and LB said 3. He said 2 trophies in 3 years. Would you rather have Arsenal's 0 trophies in 3 years in the last 3, or would you rather have Man United's 2? He said, so football finished. That's it, it's done. How are you deflecting? How?
That wasn't added on until my question.
Sell them, Potts.
Well, I mean, you could have asked that question. You could have
Yeah,
asked
I
it.
could have,
just-
but I didn't think
you
that was a
could've-
question.
Yeah,
I thought the
but
question was,
that's
would
why
you
I was
rather have the last
specific,
3
because
years
again,
this or this?
on LB's question, if it's just there's 2 years left of football,
Nobody mentioned 2 years left of football, mate. He asked you, what would you rather? Arsenal's last 3 years or Man United's last 3 years? You inserted. You inserted. No, sorry. Big up, Matty. You inserted. There's only a few years left of football, so I take the trophies. What are we doing here? And nobody mentions this shit, bruv. Nobody clips him. Nobody says anything.
Do you want to be in the title race and win nothing, or just pick up 2 trophies? I'm taking the trophies because that's it. Football's over, right? That's all I've got to remember. But football ain't like that. That's why I think sometimes I don't just isolate things always to a singular season.
Well, you do. She was telling me Arsenal was scary every fucking season. Yeah. Because they signed fucking Mikel Merino and this player and that player and this player and that player. And oh my God, you signed Rice. So you isolate it to whatever's fashionable to get you the most views, mate.
You look at, I know Spurs ended it well and they were celebrating. They've got a new manager now and things might get better for them. I think they will.
I can't lie.
But at the same time, I'd rather be City going into next season than Spurs. Well, City didn't win a trophy last year, but I'd still rather be City going into next season in terms of quality and ability.
So let me stop right there. See the amount of waffle. All LB asked him was, in the last 3 years, would you rather have 2 trophies as Man United? Hey, market opportunity in the crowd. Oh my days. Cowboys settings, baby. Would you rather have 2 trophies as Man United or 0 trophies as Arsenal? He then inserted all this bullshit and deflected it away.
Easily.
Let's ask another quick question that don't consist any of our clubs on this panel. Would you rather have Chelsea's last 3 years or Spurs' last 3 years?
Chelsea's.
Carry on.
LB?
What Chelsea won in the last 3 years? Just a community.
A Conference Cup. It's basically, do you want a Europa League or a Conference League?
Right. Man in the middle. Tier lists, trophies. Tier list trophies, guys. Every trophy is a trophy to me. But he picked Chelsea for winning a Conference League, which he admitted a minute ago, to win that trophy, you have to be shit in the first place. His words about a minute earlier. To win these trophies like the Europa League and Conference, so on and so forth, you have to be shit to be in them. No, and you have to be shit to qualify for them, yeah? Right? His words. Well, sorry to break it to you, mate. You're now sitting there picking a trophy that you put below the Europa League multiple times on shows. But carry on.
Yeah, probably Spurs.
There we go. Okay, cool. At least you're consistent, bro. I thought you were going to say Chelsea. I was like, I'm going to have you, man. He's going to say Chelsea.
I can say the Europa League over the Conference League. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I'm going with the form and trajectory in the league at the same time. Yeah, you know what I mean,
the form and trajectory in the league at the same time. How did Tottenham get into the fucking Europa League? Is this guy stupid? How did Chelsea get into the Conference League? How did Chelsea qualify for the Conference? Oh, because they finished lower than Tottenham, who qualified for the Europa, yeah? Cool. But don't worry, it's going with a form and trajectory, bruv. But because Chelsea finished Champions League this season and Tottenham finished 17th, that's okay, because football has only got 2 years. It's finished. It's finished. It's finished. It's finished. But guess what? They're both in the fucking Champions League next season. I swear, this is the thing, Eli, I swear down. United qualified for the competition by winning the fucking cup, mate. I swear. Nobody pulls him up on this, but he wants our thoughts and opinions. Share it in the group chats, guys. We've got a lot to talk about. Bro, I swear he must be on weed or edibles or something.
I mean, because if both trajectories continue in the same route, one team's going to win the league, the other one's going to the championship. So, yeah, again, great questions. I love.
So one team's going to win the league and one's going to the championship. Okay, mate.
Questions like that, they're great fun.
They're great fun. Of course they are, because then you can spin away from actually getting put on the spot and getting clipped.
Question for you guys. Mbermo looks like it's going to happen to Man United now.
Anyway, that's enough of that. That's enough of that. I'm going to swerve onto the other channel, guys. In fact, I might just fuck off to bed. In fact, no, I'll do the second half. So when he told people stop buying the merch, he was sat in merch recently. What year was the kit? What year was the kit? That's a guy, bed you milk. Nope. Who was better? Shay Bork, I ain't doing any of these comparisons because these men all cry about it. They all cry about it. It gets clipped up and they all cry. Ew. If I pick either one of them, doesn't matter which one I pick, somebody will make out, it'll go viral, Sport Bible, Lad Bible, whoever will get hold of it, and say, I can't believe that, and they'll do a sensationalist headline, guys. So they were both goats. Liverpool fan, but I'm a big fan of your content. Big up to Sheriff Andretta. Subscribe to your other channel. Keep up there. Longer Arteta stays, the better for us. All right, big up to you, man. All right, don't worry. You put a £200 million bid in for Isak, apparently, according to him. Bless up to you. Bless up. Sorry, these have been there an hour. Big up to Jerome Pierre as well. Tell me you're lying without telling me you're lying. Lol, this motherfucker keeps rubbing his hands together. Wait. It's mad. Big up Guy Thompson. 2 Bob mates. Bless up, brother. Big up Dennis. Dennis Rodman. He's slagging off the same journo, Martin Hardy, for 250k wages reported from Buemo too. When was that? I beg you tell me what stream that was. What stream was that? Same journalist he now believes, yeah? Wow, crazy. Crazy work. Crazy work. What stream was that? Might as well just stay on here and just watch the second half, innit? Might as well carry on. Should we cook Henry White next? We'll cook Henry White for the second half. Fuck it. Wish my club Man United was run like Liverpool. A big up to Ant. Big up to you, brother. Bless up, brother. I swear, Liverpool are the classiest club in the Premier League. Yeah, I might as well just stay on here for the second half rather than swerving over to the other channel. Might as well stay here, innit? Then I can go to bed, mates. Yeah, send the receipts. We need to know when he was slagging off the Embremo 250 a week from the same journo. In fact, let's go to Martin Hardy Times Twitter account and see when he was posting that out. Buemo, mates. Same crap over and over again. Facts. And the thing is, I don't even disbelieve that Liverpool want Isak. But to be posting out all this crap and coupling something from January, February, March, April, or May to something that a journal that he's cussed off a couple of days ago or whenever it was that you guys are saying, when he's never mentioned 200 million apart from how much Liverpool have actually spent this summer, and he's coupled that together to make a whole new story, not quoted the sources that have said it was 200 or 150 million. It's jarring, bruv. Making out Arsenal are amazing, scary, scintillating, dangerous champions elect and all this crap. And then I'm sitting there telling the truth every day, and it's jarring telling the truth every day because it's draining. And this guy's sitting there lying through his teeth. Imagine how draining that must be. No wonder he looks like he's on edibles, bruv. When was this article about Mbuemo? I can't see it on this guy's Twitter page. Oh, hold up. Here we go. 3rd of June. We shall return. 3rd of June. Martin Hardy. 3rd of June. Brian and Brentford. Man United target wants 250 a week if he leaves Brentford. Story here. I'm going for a piss and I'll be back and we'll do this as well. And then we'll find the stream on the 3rd of June where he's saying it, yeah? Cool. Fantastico. I'll be literally 90 seconds. I'm sick and tired of these people, man. It's boring. It's boring. It's 2-0 Chelsea. 2-0 Chelsea, guys. But anyway, I'll be... I thought it was 1-0. Did I fucking miss a goal? Probably did. I was in my element. Oh yeah, the lap fucking. Of course he did. Sorry, my fucking bad. These fuckers are going to qualify. They need to score 3. They need to concede 3, or they're through. Chelsea are qualified, lads. That's a good pass. That's a good pass. Slap it. That's a pen. Oh, he's waved it away. That would have been a penalty. And Kunku got wiped out. That would have been a penalty in the Prem. No, it'll be 90 seconds. And we'll do the Simbremo story. Don't go anywhere, yeah? We'll carry on chefing. Right. Which one of you jokers banned Anfield Vibe? Which one of you jokers banned Anfield Vibe? Because I know it weren't Sal. Sal's never banned anyone. Who banned him and why did he get banned? What did he do? What did he say? Why did you not ban him? What did he do? What did he do, guys? Big up to Sean Patrick Bannister, bruv. That was absolutely shit. Real Farmers League. Facts. But it's the worst league in the world. I don't understand why people can't see this, innit? Well, actually, I was on a different screen. I wasn't even looking. I don't even get it, Ralph. Anyway, it's probably Tim's. Here's what it is. It's probably Tim's, Ralph, on another account. Big up Sean, man. What did he say though? What did he actually say? Think of the process. F the process, Ralph. That's crazy. Anyway, let's go and have a look at this this video. And Flowers calling out the same journalist that he's used tonight to suck off Liverpool, putting in a £200 million bid that never happened and was never mentioned in the article, of the same guy that he cussed out for saying that Mbeumo will be on 250 grand a week. Who was the mod? Come on, own up. Who was the mod that banned him and what did he say? Yeah, League Gunner investigates. You know what I'm saying, Galen? This is mad. Why did he get banned? He won't be in a prat. Right, let's go to YouTube. There's a YouTube, guys. And we have to go back to the 3rd of June. I know it weren't you, Marie Babes. I know it weren't you. 3rd of June. Was it a live or a video? Chat, was it a live or a video? World record deal. He's got Mbeumo in that thumbnail. Hey, chat, which one was it where he was cussing out the same guy? Check the chat after post stream. What, and the one I've just done? The 200 million deal? Oh, sorry. I know what you mean. I'll check the live chat. I see. I get it. I get it on mine. Sue banned him. He was put on timeout by you. Well, it won't fucking me. It won't fucking me. That's Tao, bruv. Wait, Tao, did you ban him? Maybe you pressed the wrong button. Wrong account, mate. Go back on your other one. He's back. Is he back? Is that the actual Anfield vibe, guys? It actually is as well. Big up. Whoever unblocked him. It must have been Tao. Tao, you idiot, bruv. Why'd you block him? It is actually him. He's got 2.94 subs. Get him to 3K. Make sure you sub. I've just subbed. So make sure you get him to 3K, guys. Come on, let's go. Never banned him. Well, I don't know. The way you've just tweeted, the way you've just messaged off of the Lee Gunner account, maybe you did. Maybe you pressed the wrong button. All right, big up Anfield Vibe. Make sure you sub to his channel. Get him to 3K, guys. And he's about 55, 60 subs. It won't Tal. I know it won't Tal. Tal's never banned anyone. Tal's just put people on timeout. He'll never ban people. Unless they're being all right. And I've never seen him fucking being a dickhead. No, I know you was trying. You text me. I know. All right, chat. Which video was it? Was it a video or a stream where he was cussing out the same journalist he's using that he's morphed together to make out Isak 200 million bid. But he was cussing out for saying 250 grand a week for Mbeumo. Same journalist. Was it a video or was it a live? Because it was on the 3rd of June. Let's go videos. Let's see when that Mbeumo one was. What's the date on that? Does it say the fucking date? 3rd of June. I think I found it, bruv. I think I found it. This has to be. It's got Mbeumo in the title. So it's got Mbeumo in the thumbnail. And again, just so you all know, guys, it's fucking roasting. This aircon, I've had to put a towel down over there because that aircon's leaking like crazy, man. It's way too hot. So, just to take this back, Gyökeres, Wirtz, and Mbeumo. Historic, guys. World record deal. Last time I checked, Neymar's the world record deal. The very next video, by the way, Man City cleared of all charges. This is crazy. But anyway, I think this is the video, guys.
Using the right weight.
It's the 3rd of June that this video dropped. It's the 3rd of June, guys.
We have all witnessed so many giant transfers.
We have all witnessed so many giant transfers. All right, mate. Carry on.
There's no doubt about it. Whether you're thinking about Coutinho to Barcelona, Pogba returning to
Look at me, I'm sat there, look.
£100 million Jack Grealish. Liverpool about to potentially drop 150 million euros.
I couldn't help myself.
These are all massive deals.
These
are all huge.
Hold on one second.
Involving
massive, huge, couldn't help myself. We've all witnessed. Couldn't help myself. The lies keep piling up by the minute. I wasn't about to sit back without throwing a jab in return. Oh, well, there you go then. We have it documented right there. The lies keep piling up by the minute. His own words. I wasn't about to sit back without throwing a little jab in return. Cool. Well, that's what we're doing then. So you'll be cool with it then, yeah? Fantastic. I've defended other clubs when the media twists things. So you can bet I'll stand up for my own club when it matters. This is the video then. Perfect. Fantastic. Thanks for watching. And honestly, I wouldn't mind trying one of those croissants myself. Whatever that means. Maybe this ain't the video. Who knows? We're going to watch it anyway. But this is a world record deal, apparently. So this is over 200 million.
in Premier League teams, of course. But what I have just got off the phone,
Giant,
speaking to one of the world's leading agents about, is going to blow your mind. This is the biggest deal in English football.
Oh, in English football history. So it's not a world record deal then. Okay, cool. So the clickbait titles clicked again. Okay, cool.
History. It's going to blow your minds. When you break this down, you are not going to believe
a single word I'm fucking saying.
Why the player is moving and how much this is going to, it's going to change the landscape of English football forever. So strap yourselves in.
Strap in, guys. Strap yourselves in. I've not watched this video, so I don't know what he's going to say. This is unbelievable, guys. 1 minute, 3 seconds. He's been waffling. We still don't know what it means. But it's a world record deal. World record deal. World. Neymar's the world record deal. for a transfer fee anyway. Strap in, guys. Make sure you got your clunk clink. Strap in. Big updating. Strap in or on.
Can't even breathe. I'm so excited. I've been working so hard for years now.
Is he on a wind up? He's got
get
to be
myself
joking,
a
right?
scoop, get myself some information like
Is
this
this
ahead
is
of
he
time
on a wind
and
up?
be the first before Fabrizio, before the Here We Go,
This has to be
before
a
the
trolling
on-steam
thing.
bomb, before the Jacobs cracker. I'm going
This
to
has
bring
to
it
be
to
a
you right
trolling
now,
thing.
people. Hit the like
He's
button.
got to
Make
be on
sure
a
you're
wind up.
subscribing.
He's
Let's
winding
do
us
it.
up. It's got to be.
Welcome back,
Right,
everybody.
so
to
at this
the
point, by the
football
way, you're 2 minutes in, you still don't know what he's talking about. And it's only a 10-minute video.
Terrace. Now, I need to break this deal down to you. This deal is gargantuan. Now, we've already seen some interesting moves transpire so far over the course of this summer transfer window, but this is crazy. Personal terms fully agreed. The club's very close to an agreement. Let me break this down to you.
Well, we've been waiting for 2.5 minutes, mate. He has to be trolling, surely. This has to be a wind-up. Guys, I swear down. This has to be a wind-up. This has to be sarcasm, right?
So, £800,000 a week could rise to 900.
It's
Some
got to be
media
on
outlets are
sarcasm.
probably going to put it up to £1 million per week. But that, according to all the reports in the Northeast, all the reports in the Southeast, all the reports that don't come from a credible journalist or Manchester, state that Brian Mboma.
Hold on 1 second, guys. Hold on 1 second. This is him trying to do sarcasm. Wow, crazy work. This is him trying to do crazy work. Trying to do crazy work with the deadest sarcasm you'll ever see or hear in your life. But don't worry, guys. This is the same journalist that he's used tonight to make out that Isak's going for 200 million, which is a world record fee, joint with Neymar. This is the video, guys. Now we're cleaning the goggles. Carry on, Tell, with your dry sarcasm that ain't funny.
Will be earning at Manchester United next year. He's on £45,000 a week now, but he turned down.
Is he on 45 grand a week? Let's just double check that, guys, so you know how we roll. Maybe he is. Maybe he's actually checked that. All right, Madwakey, Stinker and Hooked. Sorry, my bad. 1 second.
Newcastle.
1 second. Madwakey, Stinker and Hooked. Don, come collect your baller, brother. Standard. Stinker and Hooked. Anyway, as you were saying, mate.
Next year. He's on £45,000 a week.
Oh, yeah, we were checking that. Let's go, guys. Brentford. He is on 45 grand a week. Well done. You got something right. Fantastic. He has 1 year left from the 1st of July this year. Fuck me. He actually got something right. Yeah, he did work for AFTV. You're right. It's tell them, Sal. Tell them. These men don't know, bruv. Tell them. That's a 2-year deal. Now, Bremer's got 1 year left. Apology website from the 1st of July, that'll take 1 year off every contract on there. He's got a contract till June 26. Says it on the website, but it says 2 years remaining, but that hasn't accounted for the entire season because from the 1st of, well, from midnight on the 30th of June into 1st of July, then it'll take the year off because that's the new fiscal year. That's the new year for contracts as well. But anyway, he actually got something right. Fucking hell. Believe it or not.
Now, but he turned down Newcastle, he turned down Arsenal, he turned down Tottenham and Forest, literally to earn £800,000 a week minimum at Manchester United. But that isn't That's not even half of it. That is just the beginning of these outrageous demands. Man United have no pull here. I'm embarrassed as a Man United fan. It's not about pull. This is about the club bowing down to another player, giving them what they want. And it's embarrassing. So not only is it £800,000 a week, he will have his own personal dress.
Here's the big secret about women.
Nobody cares, you
want
tramp.
you
Get off my
to
fucking
flirt
screen.
with us. We even want you to get sexual.
I bet
with
you do,
us.
you hoe. You're on OF.
Dressing room with gold-plated lockers.
Oh, what the fuck is he
To
waffling
have
about?
gold 50 in negotiations. He does a week to 180 to 250 to 800,000. Now he wants his own private dressing room.
What is he
Essentially,
waffling about?
what he said in negotiations, he doesn't want to be
Big up Jezza, bro.
touched by the stench and the rot of the current squad. They don't want it damaging his aura. So he wants his own dressing room so he can prepare for games to deliver to the best of his ability. The next thing, I mean, this is just, I wrote this down.
Well, you had to, otherwise you would have forgot, mate.
He is going to have, now get your heads around this, strap yourselves in.
Yo, hey, yo. Man said, get your heads around this, bruv. Brother. This is supposedly sarcasm, guys. So I'm saying, what the fuck is he? Is he all right? Is he having a midlife crisis or something? I don't know. Hopefully he's all right. The views, as I said, 37K. 37K, guys. I mean, this sarcasm is amazing.
He will have a lifetime supply of croissants made in
croissant.
Paris, flown in daily.
Okay.
Every day,
This is
fresh
bullshit.
croissants from Paris, flown in to Carrington for him to consume at his leisure, they said. He's leisure, not even at breakfast. He can just stop training, eat a croissant, break up the drills, say, excuse me, Ruben, the croissants are here, walk away and munch on one. Liberties. Liberties. Now, this is the one for me. How's Bruno going to? Bruno has turned down generational talent for this. Listen. He gets the captain's armband even when he's on the bench.
What is he
First time in
talking
Liverpool
about, bro?
history, a player will be on the bench, if indeed he's on the bench, and he'll be wearing the armband over his tracksuit. This club, we never learn. This is crazy. He will also have, and I hope the second part of this ain't true because it will break my heart.
Is this supposed to
They
be
could remove
fucking...
one of our iconic statues because Brian is going to have a statue built to be unveiled the evening before his home debut.
37,000 retails have
A
watched.
few other small bits.
I'm one of them.
He's going to be in charge of the club's Spotify playlist, so he gets to pick all the music in the changing room before, during, and after games. Fair enough. You know, I can warrant that. Old Trafford is going to be named after him. They said it's going to be named Stade de Mbomo. So no more Old Trafford. The stadium is being named after him as well. And look, I just wish that Man United had real pull. I wish that players wanted to come to this club to play football and not just to exploit us, take our money, retire essentially. And I'm just flabbergasted today. The player wanted, or at the very least inquired about, by 3 teams trying to win the Champions League. One of them's also trying to win the Premier League. He's been thorned after, serenaded, praised universally for multiple years in the Premier League, chased by Champions League clubs, wanting to triple, maybe even quadruple his wages to the going rate of a starting right winger, a starting 10 at some of the biggest and current best teams in England.
The fuck is he
I'm
actually
flabbergasted
talking
that
about?
he would ask for the going rate. I'm flabbergasted that's suddenly seen as a negative in this game. I can't believe it. Bomo, what are you doing? Biggest deal in English football history. 800,000, but sorry, it's gone up to 1.2 million now. Sorry, I forgot. It exponentially grows depending on how long the rumor has been around. He's getting statues before his debut, control over the Spotify list, fresh croissants flown in daily for the rest of his life at the expense of Manchester United. All that. And look, his own personal dressing room too. I mean, that one takes the biscuit out. The other player's going to feel. Might have to build 24 of them now. Give me your thoughts, give me your feelings in the comment section below.
Man literally just wasted 10 minutes of our lives. No, nearly 9 minutes of our lives. That was the deadest sarcasm I've ever heard in my life. Where's the fucking video? Because he calls out the journalist that he's using tonight to say it's a maybe it's this one that I maybe fucking clicked him up for.
I'm not going to try and pronounce that.
Maybe it's this one. Big news, guys. It can't be that one. It has to be 3rd of June. 3rd of June. What does it tell me? 28th of May, so it ain't that one. 3rd of June. Right, so it must have been a live. Your chat, was it a live or was it a... Yeah, it's killing time repeating himself and speaking bare slow as well. 3rd of June. 3rd of June, guys. 3rd of June. Maybe it's that one.
Hey.
What is wrong with these adverts? That's the 2nd of June. Aha, we're close. We're close. So maybe... Chat, tell me which day it was, because the journalist that he's cussing, posted it out on the 3rd of June. So it must have been this then. That's the 3rd of June. Let's see if he's got any Brian and Bremo talking there. Okay, well, he has there. Penalty for Chelsea, by the way. Okay, let's listen to this then. Look at Posse. I love Posse.
Chops up and he takes his eye off the ball. And then the mountain pins him down and bursts his
Oh, here we
skull.
go. He's
What we've
waffling
done
about
to me
absolutely
in Bumo.
nothing.
But look, good start by Man United to the window. What's your thoughts on it, boys?
Yeah, good start. Really good start. I've got to be honest. 2 Premier League proven players that I think can...
It's not that. Come on, chat. Help me out. Maybe it's this. 1st of June. Maybe it's 4th of June. Chat, come on. Where is it? Where the fuck is it, guys? Or is that the video that I've played that you're on about? Maybe it's that. With this fucking retard.
When they get round to making an opening bid, and there will be one soon for sure, that starting number will be lower
Where's
than
that
the
trim,
figure
by the way?
that they triggered for Cunha. And then the last
Why do
point
they
on
all speak
it
so
is that
slow, bruv?
Brentford are going to be quite flexible, I'm told, with payment terms. There's no release clause. So Manchester United will no doubt be hoping to do something similar to
Hey, it's
what
running
they
off to the
eventually were
camera. It
able
might
to
not
do
be a
with Cunha,
penalty
which
anymore.
forced them to trigger the release clause and pay that number in 3 installments. But if you think back a few weeks earlier, Cunha and Manchester United, ideally, from United's point of view, was supposed to be 4 or 5 installments. Then they agreed the 5-year deal with the 1-year option.
Chat, where was he cussing? Where was he cussing out? The same guy that he's posted
So they
tonight.
said, can we pay in 5? Can we pay in 4? No and no. Okay, we'll pay in 3. And that's why rival fans made a very amusing joke that it wasn't Mateus Cunha, it was Mateus Klarna instead. And I think there might be a Klarna
Very
element to this
amusing.
Bruno deal as well, where Manchester United might go a little
Dickhead.
bit higher than that 50 million in order to get close to the valuation of Brentford, but they will want those preferable payment terms. So there is optimism that this one can get over the line.
Yeah, it feels like it will, if that makes sense. Nothing, say, 100% guarantee, but typically, and I honestly put this in the category of people like yourself, Ben. I was talking on the United stand last night, and so when I see
She was.
the likes of Ben Jacobs, I did actually drop the Jacobs cracker line to be honest with you, in front of 250,000 people, so that might pick up more pace. But I said, when I see the likes of yourself, David Ornstein, Fabrizio, and multiple other highly credible journalists, sort of all report
Credible.
very similar
He
stories.
got kicked off the
My
BBC,
general
this guy.
view
He
is
got
that
banned.
99 times out of 100, those deals end up completing. I understand that yourselves, as the journalist, won't quite say that. As a fan looking at it, I feel like it's very, I agree with you. I think there'll be a meeting in the middle. If we pay a little bit more, we'll probably get better terms. If we pay a little bit less, the terms will probably suit Brentford a bit more. But it feels like it will happen. The United fans are happy and excited about that. Cunha
No
and
penalty,
Mboma,
guys.
let's just put them aside as the kind of in really good places. What else for Manchester United? What's next? Bruno is not going to leave, as we know. A number 9 is hot on the agenda. There's talk of more fullbacks, a goalkeeper. What are you hearing will be the next step in Man United's summer transfer activities?
Yeah, I think with Bruno Fernandes, the Al Hilal negotiations were advanced. He backed up when he spoke yesterday, reporting from a few weeks ago by myself that one, he'd had direct conversations with the Hilal president, Fahad bin Nafel, and two, that Manchester United would have sold if Bruno Fernandes said he wanted to leave. In this instance, he deliberated with his family. The logistics of the deal were close, but it was not just a football decision. And Bruno Fernandes is not going to go to Saudi Arabia.
Listen to the bullshit. The logistics of the deal were close. I swear, every single year, these men come up with another load of bullshit words that you didn't hear the year before. I've got another one as well. Where's the other one? I bookmarked it. Hold on. I took a screenshot as well. Arsenal's determination to complete transfer deals quickly this summer has left European rivals, including Barca, stunned. The Gunners' speed in lining up targets has forced others to recalibrate and rethink their own strategy. Recalibrate, guys. Because Arsenal, and that was on the 17th of June. Yeah, good one, mate. Recalibrate. All right, mate.
We can't discount a European suitor coming in for him, but Manchester United believe
they use the word suitor all the time. You mean club?
their captain will stay, and they obviously don't want to lose him, and nobody other than Saudi Arabia is going to offer the kind of money that would arguably make it worth Manchester United's while. So next steps for Manchester United, and I'm not saying it has to be do one thing outgoing in order to bring in an incoming, because it's a long window. And we must remember too, a really crucial point, that Cunha doesn't have a visa. His contract, once it's all formalized, will be July the 1st. So the first installment of the 62.5 million, 20.8 million will be July the 1st. And that's significant because it means it's actually going to be put on 25-26 financial year. And that also gives Manchester United a little bit more flexibility. So outgoing.
You said flexibility twice, by the way. Just say you're bent, bruv.
Is going to be important. Marcus Rashford, asking price 40 million. Barcelona want the player. Rashford wants Barcelona. But let's wait and see, because I don't think Manchester United can or will want any kind of flexibility there.
All right, so he's fucking something again. Is he taking a fucking piss? Man said flexibility 3 times in this little segment. This is crazy, bro. This is crazy work, guys. These men are bent.
Deal. They decided in the end, okay, loan was better, but they're back where they started now, and either bettors have got to buy the player or Manchester United have got to sanction another loan, and that doesn't help them in the short term imminently on the financial books. If you look at Jadon Sancho, wanted to find a permanent solution, ended up being a loan, back at Manchester United again. So if they've learned any lessons, it will be to stick to what I think for a player like Rashford is a reasonable asking price. Maybe someone comes in 5-7 million less. We see whether Manchester United entertain that, but I think there'll be a permanent exit for Rashford. Alejandro Garnacho feels the most important one because it's pure profit on the books, especially now there will be no Saudi Bruno.
Well, so is Rashford, you fucking retard. Carry on.
Fernandes money, and still Chelsea are deliberating, but they've got
deliberating. They're recalibrating, guys. They're deliberating. These men chat absolute shit. Hilarious. No information at all. Exactly.
Maybe Gittins and Nico Williams on their list. You've got Napoli, but they've also got Georgi Sudakov, another option. But I sense, because Sudakov likes to play through the centre, that if, as expected, Kevin De Bruyne joins Napoli, they'll want a proper touchline-hugging winger. And that's...
Man's talking about hugging and flexibility and that. Just say you're gay, bro. Nobody cares. It's 2025. Like, real talk, what are we doing here, bro? Hugging and flexibility.
That's what Garnacho.
And he said down the middle as well.
Wants ultimately is not to be used in the central position where he's been deployed under Amorim, so maybe the move to Napoli will suit him. Challenge there is that in January, Napoli bid 50 million euros, Manchester United want 70 million euros. So at this point, there's a goal from valuation, but I think the big priority will be Garnacho. And then Manchester United searching for this number 9. That may have an impact on either Rasmus Højlund, more likely, or Joshua Zirkzee. Højlund, I'm told, is the one that if they can bring in the right kind of striker, they would be open to
Man said I look like that guy. Don't listen to Twitter, bruv. I look nothing like this geezer, bruv.
But you have this horrible financial conundrum of...
Conundrum. Horrible financial conundrum.
Lots of interest in Højlund, particularly from Italy, but you don't want to make a book loss. So that might be one where they have to consider a loan with an option. Or
Man said a book loss. Why would you make a book loss? See, that's how you know this man chat shit. Why would it be a book loss? They ain't paid the whole money in totality for Rasmus Højlund. Marie, go on, girl. Why would they make a book loss? How much have they paid for Rasmus? Does anyone know? Because if he goes to Italy and they pay more than Man United have already paid for Rasmus since he's been at Man United, it's not a book loss. They ain't paid the 72 mil. They ain't paid the whole 72 mil. They haven't paid it all. It's spread over the length of the contract. When Man United signed Di Maria, they bought him 75 mil. They sold him for 62. It went down as £3 million profit. Why? Because PSG paid 3 million more to Man United than Man United had paid up front to Real Madrid. Book profit. I swear, most people don't get it. Yeah, and this guy's bamboozling and lying to people. And because he's some little posh boy, yeah, that was educated at Oxford University, yeah, he thinks he's smarter than the average bear, bruv. How'd you get sacked from the BBC? They employ nonces.
Or an obligation, because if they just sell now, it doesn't reflect positively in the books. But you've got a culmination of options.
Culmination, another big buzzword.
Bring in over 100 million, and then you have a bit more flexibility in the market. And then, as I said before,
how many times this guy mentioned flexibility, bro? Yep. This guy's mentioned flexibility 4 times just in this little segment. Just say you like getting bent over. It's pretty cool, bro, for you, not for me. Don't come near me, bro. Pause. Nobody cares. It's 2025, bro.
4, number 9.
Whose birthday is it? Yo, man said turn 20, my brother. Well, big up Scotty Whelan, bro. Wish I was 20 again. I'll be minted by 21. Happy birthday, brother.
One option. We can maybe come back to that in a moment. Still may bring in another fullback as well. Purvis Estupinan at Brighton is a name that I've been to that in a moment. Still may bring in another fullback as well. Purvis Estupinan at Brighton is a name that I've been hearing, which caught me by surprise a bit because they are quite well stocked on that left-hand side. But
man said Purvis, you know. Flexibility. Hug. Stocked. Down the middle.
Maybe there's some reticence about the long-term fit.
Right, reticence. That's a great buzzword, guys. Reticence. Maybe there's some reticence
of Luke Shaw. And then I think Manchester United is still debating the goalkeeper situation. They might be alert to the Emi Martinez situation, but he is well contracted to Aston Villa. And along with Manchester United, you've got Atletico Madrid who are interested. Joan Garcia, who I've mentioned before, has agreed terms with Barcelona. I expect that one to happen because there's no real club-to-club negotiation needed. A 25 million euros release clause means that Barcelona are confident now of formalising that one and getting it over the line. But with goalkeepers, I said before, and I'll just repeat it in case people did the criminal act of missing.
The criminal act of... Yeah, what? Don't even get me started, bro. This is on 1.5 times. I mean, it's probably on more than that. I can't remember. Imagine listening to this bullshit in real time. Crazy work, guys.
Old shows that we've done. When you are...
This is crazy, isn't it? The criminal act.
all of these transfers for Manchester United, you have to, one, be collective, not just take a name and say, is Bruno valuable at 50? But then what have you got left to strengthen in all of these other areas? Because Ruben Amorim wants 4 or 5 players to come through the door. And then second of all, on the goal.
Well, you're not paying 50 up front, are you? And this is where these people lie through their teeth. They're not paying the 50 up front. They could pay 10 up front.
Goalkeeper specifically.
And if you have 100 million quid, you can buy 5 players depending on how much you're paying out up front. So you could potentially do 300 million on 5 players. Anyway,
down a little bit is 6 months ago, it was all about a number 2, a young keeper that could challenge Onana, but not necessarily replace him next season. And that's because Bayindir expected to leave. Now it's changed a bit, and there's internal debate with no clarity yet about Bayindir and Onana. So then they may have to pivot and go for a number 1. And if they move, for example, for Emi Martinez, there's still a fee there. Aston Villa could be asking for 30 odd million. If Mike Maignan goes to Chelsea and hypothetically Milan's asking price was met at 25 million, then Aston Villa are going to be using that as a yardstick because Maignan is nearly 30. He's only got a year left of his contract. If anyone pays that 25 million, Emi Martinez is probably going to go for more, and Manchester United may feel that that's too expensive as well. So it's a fascinating period of the window.
Fascinating.
Because you've got the opening, which is the culmination of hard work over months, and that's why there's a flurry of business. But then you've got this mini closing. And
mini closing.
It shouldn't be that significant, the June the 10th deadline. But because some teams like Chelsea and Man City are so active because they are trying to do business for the Club World Cup, if you're up against those clubs in a race for a player, then you kind of have to escalate your business with urgency. So weirdly, clubs are telling me, we felt quite calm because we've had 6 months to line up everything. But now suddenly other clubs are moving with a bit more urgency because they want them by a certain day to go off the Club World Cup. So now we feel it's both the beginning of the window and kind of a mini end of the window.
Like we didn't all know that this was going to happen. How many players did Chelsea sign? How many 7 minutes of stoppage time, guys? How many players did Chelsea sign before the... well, that's a ball. Chelsea are in. Should have buried that, mate. How many players did Chelsea sign before the Club World Cup? This guy chats shit.
No, straight away. And that, I think, is why it's so busy at the moment. And it's also why I think, even if they're dating these contracts July the 1st, Manchester United are making a play at moving now, resolving situations now, because they know that there's 1 or 2 targets out there that if they don't move now, other clubs might be in a rush, have the urgency, pay a little bit more because they want that same player for the Club World Cup. And then if you just kick back and wait for the financial year to end, you may potentially miss out on that target.
Which, as
great insight, mate. You've wasted 5 minutes of our life.
You know, makes a lot of sense. And I think I've actually quite enjoyed it.
I said it makes a lot of sense. Fucking hell. I swear he's on edibles. I'm going for a piss. Bruv. These people, bruv. Let's carry on. And then we'll chef up Henry Wright for 10 minutes, 15 minutes. I'm down to bed.
I think the transfer window having, as you say, this kind of it's a window within a window. It's sort of I always say the transfer window.
It's not a window within a window. It was shut for a whopping 6 days, mate. However, the clubs that are not financially fucked until the 1st of July actually went and did business. Who knew? The ones that are financially fucked until the 1st of July haven't.
Window to me is like Vatican City within Rome, if that makes sense. A city within a city. But now what we've got is like it's almost turning into one of those Russian doll toys. It's like a city within a city within a city. It's a mini window within.
Oh God, listens to this shit. Who listens to this shit every day, by the way, in real time? Like
in the transfer window. And as you say, it's kind of shaking things up. Teams that are at the World Club Cup really want to win it. They want that prize money. They want the accolade of being the inaugural winners, especially if. And I don't think we know as fans how we're going to feel about it until it's played, if I'm being honest with you. I think a lot of people with the new Champions League format weren't up for it at the beginning of the season. We love the Champions League this year. And if this summer's World Club Cup is a resounding success, if you want the first winner of it, that's historic. So a lot of teams seemingly looking to put their places, they're sort of ducks in a row. But it means other teams have to move faster because you might lose out on a target. And for some players, the opportunity to say, oh, hang on, Chelsea want me. And they want me now to go to the Club World Cup. It's a massive thing for football players. So, yeah, as you say, we're certainly seeing things move forward. I wanted to ask you about a striker at Man United, is in Rasmus Højlund. What's your understanding about these links to the likes of Inter Milan and Real Madrid that have been published in the last 24 hours?
So Real Madrid. These men are serial fucking bullshit as well. Who wins the league next season as of now? Big up Fabian. SW96. I'd say City. As of now. That may change. Ask me again at the end of the window. Big up Touchline Facts as well, man. Now I understand why clickbait. Obviously, yeah, that was earlier. Sorry, bro. Yeah, that's because he's sitting there dead sarcasm, bro, on his ones. Make sure you sub to Touchline Facts. Big up to Robinho. Do you think Arteta is still in love with Rodrigo? Arteta's in love with himself and his bank balance, mate. It's crazy. It's actually crazy. Well, bless up, brother. Big up from, I think you're from Australia, right? US dollar, yeah. Bless up to you, bruv. We ain't signing Rodrigo. Why would he join Arsenal? If he does, I question his mentality. Big up to... You ask me this question all the time, bruv. Bro, you know the answer. I've said this. Like, you always put a couple of dollars in there all the time, bro. Like once or twice a month, bro. Why'd you ask me the same question? You know the answer. He does it every month. Anyway. It is what it is. Let's carry on.
Yeah, I'm not so sure about Real Madrid. I think Inter, and in fact, other Serie A interest is legitimate. And again, I'll just come back to what I said before. If somebody was to offer Manchester United incredible money for Højlund to the point where it reflected positively on their books, they would do that deal, and then they would be able to fund a number 9.
Well, one sec.
If somebody was to offer Manchester United incredible money for Højlund to the point where it reflected positively on their books.
This is where you have to dissect these dickheads. Book loss. Do you remember he said that 5 minutes ago about Rasmus? Book loss. A book loss. He's been there how long? 2 years? But if somebody was to offer incredible money, well, what's incredible money then? Because now 5 minutes later, after they've bamboozled everyone, he's now saying if somebody was to offer incredible money, like, what are we doing here? These man chats absolute bollocks, bruv. He knows, and so does Terry, that you amortize it. You're not paying the whole fee, bruv, in one go. So, he said, and I'll rewind it if I fucking have to. I can't be asked, fucking. Man said book loss earlier. Book loss. Now listen to this.
And in fact, other Serie A interest is legitimate. And again, I'll just come back to what I said before. If somebody was to offer Manchester United incredible money for Højlund to the point where it reflected positively on their books, they would do that deal.
Big gulp after he said it. He's lying.
Incredible money for Højlund to the point where it reflected positively on their books. They would do that deal, and then they would be...
No, I've got to find it.
Man City are so active because they are trying to do business. You have to, one, be collective, not just take a name and say, is Bruno valuable at 50, but then what have you got left to strengthen in all of these other areas? Because Ruben Amorim wants 4 or 5 players to come through the door. And then second of all, on the goalkeeper specifically, what's slowing them down a little bit is 6 months ago, it was all about a number 2, a young keeper that could challenge Onana, but not necessarily replace him next season. And that's because Bayindir expected to leave. Now it's changed a bit, and there's internal debate with no clarity yet about
internal debate.
Bayindir and Onana, so then they may have to pivot and go for a number 1. And if they move, for example, for Emi Martinez, and hypothetically Milan's asking price was met at 20-25 million, then Aston Villa are going to be using that as a yardstick, because the hypothesis is for 2. And then second F are thinking about all of these transfers for Manchester United. You have to, 1, be collective, not just take a name and say, is Mbeumo valuable at 50? Manchester United is still debating the goalkeeper situation for 100 million, and then you have a bit more flexibility. But so that might be one where they have to consider a loan with an option or an obligation, because if they just sell now, it doesn't reflect positively in the books. But you've got a culmination of options. They would be open to an exit, but you have this horrible financial conundrum of lots of interest in Højlund, particularly from Italy, but you don't want to make a book loss. So that
you don't want to make a book loss on Højlund. 5 minutes later.
Ahora solo encargas.
5 minutes later. 5 minutes later. 5 minutes. See what you have to do with these people, because they'll bamboozle the fucking shit out of you.
Can change very quickly if you suddenly realise you can get another target. And Højlund also will be aware that if he stays, his game time may be diminished. So it's going to be an interesting one to watch. Clubs in Serie A are well aware that this is a market opportunity. But it kind of reminds me of the Chelsea Lukaku that is looking to, where it feels that he's a little bit more versatile and a short-term income coming in. It's to the point where it reflected positively, I think, Inter and in fact others.
Striker at Man United is in Rasmus Højlund. What's your understanding about these links to the likes of Inter Milan and Real Madrid that have been published in the last 24 hours?
Yeah, I'm not so sure about Real Madrid. I think Inter and in fact other Serie A interest is legitimate. And again, I'll just come back to what I said before. If somebody was to offer Manchester United incredible money for Højlund to the point where it reflected positively on their books, they would do that deal, and then they would.
Big gulp. So, book loss positively on the books. How do you do that then? How do you go from book loss to if somebody offered an incredible deal? What's an incredible deal? They've not paid the whole fee, bruv. So what's an incredible deal? Somebody covering and more what Man United have paid to Fiorentina in the 2 years he's been here, which is, let's say, 20 million. So if somebody paid 21 million up front, say Inter, and it was 50 million or 60 million, that's a book profit. This man chat absolute shit, bruv. Yeah. And he thinks he's slick. They're absolute serial bullshit and wafflers, a lot of them.
Would be able to fund a number 9. It's difficult because whether or not the number is seemingly helpful in terms of wage bill space or squad space.
Wage bill space. Like Man United, a skin.
Or short-term income coming in. If it's a book loss, that's bad news for Manchester United. And therefore, Xerxes, who...
If it's a book loss, it's bad news for Man United, but Rashford will be pure profit and so will Garnacho. So that'll end up being total for all of them, for the 3 of them, including Rasmus, a book profit, you thick fuck.
Who they don't as urgently want to put on the market is an easier deal to do. But he has value because Ruben Amorim feels that he's a little bit more versatile and able to drop deeper and have a role.
Versatile and drop deeper, flexibility. Down the middle. Hugging. This guy's bent, bruv. Just say you're gay. Nobody cares if you're gay, bruv. Just say you're gay.
Anywhere across the front line, whereas Højlund is more of your lead target man striker, and Manchester United are looking to bring in a more consistent goal scorer. And it's a shame for Højlund. I don't think he's actually being forced out at this stage, but things can...
It's not a shame. He's nicking a living.
Change very quickly if you suddenly realise you can get another target. And Højlund also will be aware that if he stays, his game time may be diminished. So it's going to be an interesting one to watch. Clubs in Serie A are well aware that this is a market opportunity. But it kind of reminds me of the Chelsea Lukaku situation, where again, the money that Chelsea had paid for Lukaku was so high that in then trying to find a solution to get him out the club, they just had to keep... loaning and chipping away at the fact that someone else is paying the wage coverage. You're getting a loan fee. You do that over a season or 2 seasons. Maybe that's what Manchester United also do with Anthony, who would like.
Okay, cool. 1 second, yeah. We've gone through shows on this channel, me and Matty. They got 30 million euro for Lukaku as a sale. They also got, what, 20 million in a loan fee and 7 million in a loan fee. So they got nearly half of their money back. And he's just going to win a title.
Like to go to Betis, and then suddenly when you come to then sell for significantly less than you've paid, if you aggregate all of the saved wages and all of the loan fees over maybe even 2 or 3, then when you get that final fee as well, you feel like, okay, broken even, kept the player happy, it suits all parties. But
how many times does a player that's out of sorts at a club go on loan multiple times and you end up breaking even? This guy is a bullshitter, bruv.
Just keep an eye on the Højlund situation and think back to that Lukaku one, because it isn't a given that it's just going to be easy to facilitate an exit. And a lot of Manchester United fans that I speak to, they get excited when they think, great, someone's willing to pay 50 million euros for Rasmus Højlund. Now we'll go out and get Victor Gyökeres, Victor Osimhen, or whoever. But it has to make book sense.
Yeah.
Book sense, guys. No, it fucking don't, because you're going to sell Garnacho for pure fucking profit. You're going to sell Rashford for pure profit. So you can afford to take a hit on him. Book sense. Oh, book loss. Book sense. These man chats absolute fucking bollocks.
And this is, and the book sense stuff is so important. And I've been talking about this for years. Football fans have got to get the concept of net spend out of their mind. And this idea of, well, you buy a player for 70 million 5 years ago and then you sell him for 50 million, how can you make a profit? It's nothing to do with net spend. It's all about your trading, your profit and loss accounts in that financial year. And there's
cool. So it ain't about the individual player then. Thanks for confirming that, Flowers. These men are like, girl, let girls keep talking. Yeah, and eventually they talk themselves into the fucking problem. Yeah, and then they end up fucking grassing on themselves. Listen to what you just said.
Spend out of their mind, and it's like
Victor Gyökeres, Victor Osimhen, or whoever, but it has to make book sense.
And this is, and the book sense stuff is so important. And I've been talking about this for years. Football fans have got to get the concept of net spend out of their mind, and this idea of, well, you buy a player for 70 million 5 years ago and then you sell him for 50 million, how can you make a profit? It's nothing to do with net spend. It's all about your trading, your profit and loss accounts in that financial year. And there's a lot of reports, even with Rashford, that it might be a loan with an obligation to buy again this time round. 1, to help Barcelona, and 2, that might suit Man United. Again, he's always pure profit, but it just, well, if we cover the wages for a year, we can kick the can down the road when we get the money, but as long as we know it's coming in. And these things, very important. And Højlund's one of them, as you say. There's a few players out there like Højlund, where Onana might be another, where a loan with an option might be a better way for the clubs to operate than selling them in this summer, as you say, because the book loss, you don't want to take that on. Jadon,
the book loss, guys. Let's see how much the book loss was for Man United. Let's have a look at their book loss, guys. Did they make a profit? Did they make a profit? Somebody in the chat who's a clever fucker tell me. So Manchester United's actual website, as of the 31st of December 24, cash and cash equivalents were 95.5 million compared to 62.8 the prior year quarter. So did they actually make a profit or a loss? Book loss and that, you know what I'm saying? Can't see it. Book loss, guys. That's another buzz phrase. Oh, here we go. Manchester United made a profit in the first quarter of 24-25, despite paying out 8.6 million in exponential costs. 1 sec. Let's copy and paste that because it's behind the paywall, and we'll read it somewhere else. These man chats absolute shit, bro. Most people are thick as shit and believe it. Let's go. Book loss, guys. As part of the restructuring measures, the club's new Ineos-led hierarchy under Sir Jim lost blah, 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 blah. They made a profit of 1.3 million in the first quarter compared to 32.8 million lost during the same period last year. So the book profit then was up, guys. Interesting. It lost 113 million in 23-24. Okay. Club revenue fell 143.1 million. Did they actually make a profit? Because I can't see whether they made a profit or not. Doesn't tell me on the New York Times. But book loss, book profit. But for the first quarter, they made a profit. Cool. So let's just go back to what we were doing. Yeah. He's waffling, talking about book loss for Højlund. But if a substantial offer comes in, then it could be a good deal that they'd take. He then says, if you buy Rasmus for 70 million and sell him for 50, needs to make sense. Doesn't always go down as a profit. Yeah, because it's net spend ain't a thing. It's about the whole club. Yeah. Profit, blah, 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 as you can hear.
Buy again this time round. One, to help Barcelona, and two, that might suit Man United. The book sense stuff is so important, and I've been talking about this for years. Football fans have got to get the concept of net spend out of their mind, and this idea of, well, if you buy a player for 70 million 5 years ago and then you sell him for 50 million, how can you make a profit? It's nothing to do with net spend. It's all about your trading, your profit and loss accounts in that financial year. And there's a lot of...
So everything this dickhead has said for the last 5 minutes waffling about an individual player as a book loss or a book profit, he literally just muddied him by saying it's the total club. And he's sitting there like,
reports even with Rashford that it might be a loan with an obligation to buy again this time round. One, to help Barcelona, and two, that might suit Man United. Again, he's always pure profit, but it just, well, if we cover the wages for a year, we can kick the can down the road when we get the money, but as long as we know it's coming in. And these things, are very important. And Højlund's one of them, as you say. There's a few players out there like Højlund, where Onana might be another, where a loan with an option might be a better way for the clubs to operate than selling them this summer. You don't want to take that. On Jadon Sancho, just very quickly before we move on to City and Liverpool and the Arsenal and Chelsea updates, loads to go through. It's so busy. I was like, loads. Jadon Sancho, I mean, Fabrizio has been very forthright in saying he won't stay at the club next year. United are confident that they will find another solution in another club. Is that your understanding? And where are the noises coming from for a potential destination for Sancho?
Is that a book loss?
Yeah, I think Jadon Sancho back at Manchester United, no real surprise necessarily, because Chelsea knew all along that keeping Sancho required player negotiation due to just how big his Manchester United contract is. And when they did this deal, it made sense for Chelsea because Manchester United contributed around £125,000 a week of Sancho's wage. And Chelsea's perspective is that they valued Sancho. And I would even go so far as to say the preference in an ideal world was to keep Sancho and pay that obligation of up to 25 million. But it required Sancho to fit into the wage structure. And if you look at Chelsea's top 10 earners, then that number is maybe 150 to 170,000 pounds a week. Jadon Sancho needs 200,000 more, almost, not quite, but close, to match the package he's on at Manchester United. So it either would have required a big drop in Sancho's wage or Sancho to take a very heavily incentivized and, I think performance-related contract that would have relied on minutes and output. And after amicable talks, they didn't get close to agreeing anything. So then Chelsea pay the 5 million to send him back to Manchester United. And it feels a little bit like Manchester United are back where they started. obviously with no loan fee, but a 5 million penalty, the two kind of cancel each other out. So Chelsea just feel now they paid 5 million for a 6-month loan and they've had some wage coverage, good deal for them. And Manchester United feel like they've got an extra 5 million and now can put Sancho on the market. And I still think that top end of the obligation, 25 million plus the 5 million Manchester United have got, will be acceptable. And at that number, the fee may not be a problem for Sancho suitors, but it's exactly the same position as Chelsea had. If Chelsea can't agree terms with Sancho, and by all accounts, Sancho was quite happy at Stamford Bridge, then the likes of Dortmund, who always get linked with bringing him back, and a few clubs in Italy, and I'm told Turkish interest from Galatasaray as well, they've all got to be able to afford that wage. So Sancho will have to think about whether he wants to sit it out for some of the summer and see if the right opportunity comes up, or alternatively drop his wage demands a little bit. And that will be a factor in how quickly this gets resolved.
Yep.
I think it is a little bit of a different situation within Manchester United to Garnacho and Rashford, because with Marcus Rashford, game over. Ruben Amorim decided very early, never going to play for the club again, and that remains the case. Rashford.
Well, he decided very early to send fucking Sancho on loan. Or was he not there? I swear he was there. He got there in November, right? And he went on loan when? Was it the season? All right, what was it? It was the season, wasn't it? He didn't go in Jan. It
will
was
go
the
somewhere.
season.
I don't expect him to play another minute for Manchester United. With the Garnacho story, it's partly because there's so much pure profit appeal of selling him.
Pure profit.
Ruben Amorim, as I think David Ornstein broke originally,
Book
told
profit.
Garnacho to his face, go and find another club. So that chapter's
He
over
told him to his face, guys.
as well. And the expectation and probably the 90% likelihood is also that Sancho goes and doesn't play another competitive game for Manchester United either. But because of his attitude at Chelsea, and because the initial problem was Ten Hag, not Ruben Amorim.
Look how slow he's talking, and this is on what time speed? 1.5. Fuck, listen to this in real time.
There will just be, if it drags on and Sancho gets the opportunity to be part of pre-season, a brief period of reflection. So I think Fabrizio's right that the expectation from all parties is Sancho will go, but it's not 100% slam dunk definitively.
Slam dunk.
Has made up his mind, doesn't want Garnacho, doesn't want Rashford. It's just the decision that Sancho's time at Manchester United was over was kind of made before Ruben Amorim arrived, and therefore was, and it is a slim percentage chance anything to change, it would be driven by Ruben Amorim maybe seeing the player in pre-season and changing his mind. But we might not get there, because what Chelsea have done is said, even though you're contracted with us until the 30th of June, we're not taking you to the Club World Cup. Go and find your next club in June. And if things move quickly, of course, Manchester United would like to facilitate that exit.
Facilitate.
Ben, thank you for that very comprehensive update on everything Manchester United. Viewers, hit the like button, please. Make sure you are subscribing. We're talking Chelsea. We've got big updates on Arsenal, Liverpool to come. But staying in Manchester, obviously today we've seen the news, the done deal of Rangers to, or the here we go, to Manchester City. That looks like it's getting over the line.
Cereal waffles, mate. Whose life that I like? I'm going to bed. Carefree Lewis is live. We'll raid Carefree Lewis. Carefree Lewis is live. Proper Chelsea. This is complete bollocks, mate. I'm sick to death of these people. Literally sitting there lying through their teeth. But they speak with big posh tones and buzzwords and book loss and all. Fuck off, mate. How about shut up? How about that? I'm going to bed, mate. 5:20 in the morning. I'm bored of these dickheads. Literally bored of these fucking idiots. I'm going to bed, mates. Anyway, bless up to everyone who's locked in. Bless up to everyone who's locked in as well. Yeah, they chat absolute shit, bruv. That was on 1.5 times speed, and look how slow he was talking. Mad. I promise I don't do it as a joke. I did it a few times before, and to be honest, to get validation since you might escape from pain. And do it again. Nah, listen, bruv, just go and fucking smash a brass. How about that? Yeah, I'll stay well clear of women, bruv, and getting, I don't know, just get your money up, bruv. And then you couldn't get any bird. Pretty simple. But no, bless up to you, Rashid. Bless up to you, brother. Well, I got a fucking good memory, mate, even at 5 in the morning. Bless up to you. Henry Wright's had a fucking result. Because he's probably sitting there fucking shitting himself, thinking he was next. We can maybe do that tomorrow night. Although it depends. Because my mum lands in literally 6 hours. So I need to go to bed. Defumigate the fucking gaff of cigarette smoke because you don't smoke, bruv. So I need to go and open all the doors and fucking put the plugins and the air freshener on, bruv. And then I'm going to bed. But no, bless up to everyone locked in. Big up Drew Collins, man. As a Liverpool fan, may I ask how I can breathe? Bro, go down the local church. I was doing this for PSG and Real Madrid and that. Do you know what I'm saying? I was in the church every day. Bless up to my sweetie Galen every time. Don't oversleep. No, I won't. The key will be under the doormat anyway. She's getting her own way here. I'm going to bed, mates. Big up Julia. Big up to Mules. All right, bless up to everyone who's locked in. Hasborn, everyone, man. Come on. Only YouTuber in Europe that's streaming when I get home at 11 p.m. from work in America. Big up. No, bless up to Michael, man. Now, bless up to you, lot. Big up Chills. Anfield Vibe came back from the dead, bruv. He's back again. Bless up, brother. But yeah, we're going to raid Carefree Lewis, yeah? I'm going to bed. So big up to everyone who's locked in. Hopefully, this has made book sense and not a book loss. It's to make book profit, bruv. So yeah, bless up to everyone who's suddenly realised these men are serial bullshitters. Is what it is, isn't it? Anyways, raid Carefree Lewis with, I don't know, whatever the fuck you want. Lee Raid, Market. Book Sense Raid, mates. Book Sense Raid, mates. Anyway, I'm gone. Love, laters, market opportunity raid, whatever you want to do. All right, big up Jezza, bruv. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. You're probably sat by the lake right now, waiting for the sun to come up. Yeah, and big up Jezza always. Make sure you sub to Jezza's channel as well. Yeah, make sure you sub to Jezza, the godfather of this app, the godfather of Arsenal. He's on nearly 9K as well. Subs flying, Jezza. Subs are flying, mate. So big up Jezza. Make sure you sub to Jezza. He's less than 500 from 9K. So make sure you sub to Jezza as well, yeah? And bless up to everyone who's locked in. But yeah, I need to sleep, mate. I'm going to bed. Love. They're all wafflers, bruv. I am going to sleep. I'm going to sleep, bruv. Good night. God bless. And we're out, mates. We are out. Raid Carefree Lewis, yeah? Raid Carefree Lewis.
Mikel Arteta.
I'm gone. Layers.